Yes, case number 317 on the calendar in the matter of Lagos versus Wade. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Wade, you own a bar?
Yes.
The plaintiff was a patron in that bar?
Yes.
You had an employee in that bar? Female employee?
Yes.
In what capacity did you employ this woman?
The woman is a security.
And according to Ms. Lagos, this female security guard at your bar assaulted her without provocation. Now, there is some merit to her statement because this security guard pled guilty to assault, correct?
As far as I know, yes.
Let us take that as a given. She pled guilty and then she fled the jurisdiction after sentencing. That's what it says here, right?
Yes.
Ms. Lagos said she was injured and she wants to be compensated.
Correct.
When were you assaulted in Mr. Wade's bar?
On November 27th of 2003.
Tell me about it.
I was at the bar with a girlfriend. I have never been to that bar before. I went into the bar. I lost my friend. So I proceeded towards where I saw a bouncer at the exit. I asked him, what do people do when they lose their friends? He told me that I can try calling her on my cell phone, which I proceeded to do. And then afterwards, when I tried to come back in, he wouldn't let me back in. And so I was just inquiring on, well, how do I get back in? I'm lost. I've never been here before. And then out of nowhere, the security guard that came in, and she didn't know the conversation at all. And she just butted in and said, what's the problem? And I told her, I said, you know, please don't talk to me that way. You don't know what's going on. And then out of nowhere, she'd hit me on the right side of my head. I started crying. I've never been in a fight before. I asked the bouncer to get me assistance. I felt dizzy. I felt like I was going to pass out.
When she hit you, what did she hit you with?
A closed fist. The bouncer told me at that point to go home and drink it off. It happens all the time. They refused to call the owner. They refused to call any assistance for me. So I went on my cell phone. Another person who was there helped me walk to my car, and I dialed 911.
Either one of you there that evening?
Right, yes.
Were you at the door?
Yes.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Kevin Kinzis.
How long have you worked for Mr. Wade?
I have not. I'm a customer there.
You were a customer?
Right.
A regular customer?
Yes.
How did it come about that you accompanied Mr. Wade to court today?
Just I came back there and asked what happened.
Came back
I came
where?
back to the establishment and asked him what happened because I saw a bunch of stuff going on at the back exit.
Well, what kind of stuff did you see going on, Mr. Kinsis?
Well, I was leaving through the other exit, and I seen her going through this exit.
Yes.
And I saw the bouncer saying, you can't come in through this exit. And it just...
And what?
This girl came by and...
Which girl?
This security guard.
Security guard came by and?
She said, shut up, you bull dyke, beep, and then, like, flicked her hair.
What? Who said what to whom, sir? You're not being clear. I want you to be clear.
The security guard.
Security guard said to her.
You cannot come in through here.
Yes.
And I heard, shut up, you bull dyke.
Who said it?
The security guard said it to her.
To her. So the security guard cursed her.
Right.
And then hit her.
Well, flicked her, not, I mean, hit her, just like flicked her hair.
And then what did you hear?
That was it, I just left.
So you didn't really, that really wasn't much of an incident?
No.
So what did you go find Mr. Wade for?
I just asked him what happened that night.
When did you ask him what happened that night?
Probably a week later.
Why would you even think about asking him what happened a week later, sir, if what you described to me was truthful, Mr. Kinsis, that nothing happened, somebody got their hair flicked? Why would that even stay in your mind, Mr. Kinsis?
I just asked him what happened back there, and he told me.
What did he tell you?
That some girl tried getting into the exit, and, are you a witness? And I said, yes, I saw. What happened?
Sit down. Aren't you sorry you made a fool of yourself?
Yeah.
Sit down.
All right.
Good. Mr. Wade, Mr. Kinsis is sorry he made a fool of himself.
I think he's scared.
Now, were you hospitalized?
No, I didn't have insurance at that time.
Just listen to me. Answer my question. Were you hospitalized?
No, ma'am.
When for the first time did you seek medical assistance?
The next morning.
Do you have a report from a doctor?
I do, ma'am.
May I see it, please?
Can I add something?
Yes.
In case you can't read it, the last paragraph of this police report basically says the detective had a call because the...
May I see the police
Yes.
report, please?
Here's the police report, and here's the last
Okay.
paragraph right here.
All right. Okay. Any medical follow-up?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see it, please?
Anything else you got?
No, sir. I have the docket report. I don't know if you need that.
What's your last name?
Dewberry.
What are you doing here?
I was the one that discussed this with her,
Oh.
settling.
You work for Mr. Wade?
Yes.
Stand up, please. What did you discuss with her?
I discussed going over her medical bills with her and coming up with a settlement for the incident that had happened
When did you first have your conversation with her?
in July of 2004.
When did Miss Mullen plead guilty?
I don't know.
When?
She pled guilty at the end of April of 2004 by the district attorney.
So what took you so long? Why did you wait until July?
That's when I was first contacted by her.
When had she contacted you, Mr. Wade?
About June?
Not before June,
No.
even though this incident happened in November.
Right.
Is that right?
No, ma'am, it's not right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
According to the police, this lady was not intoxicated. She was not sloppy. What are you laughing at? Are you inappropriate or what?
And later today,
Women don't like to be made a fool of. Sometimes they cut your clothes in half with you in them.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Julie Lagos claims nightclub owner Jack Wade owes for damages from an assault. Julie claims she was punched in the head by a female bouncer.
Now, when did you first
I first contacted him in December. He said that he was willing to work with me, but he was not going to settle with me for anything until he knew whether or not Lisa pled guilty by the district attorney.
That sounds right. This lady didn't wait, sir, until June. She went to the doctor right away, and she contacted you right away.
That's not true. She called me in June. I didn't know that anything was going on with her. She called me and she told me she'd been there. And
Let me tell you something, sir.
Yes, sir. Ma'am.
You see this gentleman over here? He came and testified a moment ago at your request. He said that he spoke to you a week after the incident, which would have been in December.
Yes.
And you asked him if he could be a witness.
No, I didn't ask him if he would be with
He
me.
volunteered to be a witness.
No, he'd come in to me and he, no.
Right?
Right.
Right, that's what he says, Mr. Wade. Volunteered to be a witness. Now, why would you need a witness if the plaintiff did not contact you from November until June?
He came to me in December and he said, I was out there that night and heard this commotion, a bunch of yelling. And I said, oh, I said, did you see it? And he said, yeah. I said, what happened? He didn't know all the whole, why she was yelling and all, just what he saw.
Mr. Wade,
And,
you're pulling my leg, sir.
no, I'm not pulling your
Yeah,
leg.
you are, sir. You're pulling my leg.
No, I'm not.
Because this lady did not wait after she was assaulted in your bar 7 months before she contacted you to be compensated for the assault. Let's get over that, because it doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, Mr. Wade, it's not true.
No.
Now-
I have a document here in July that she faxed us stating the damage done to her in July on her own father's fax machine.
Just 1 second. I'm not saying she didn't fax you that in July. I'm not saying she didn't contact you in June. I'm saying it was not the first time she contacted you. The first time she contacted you was prior to June. Now, when was your settlement negotiation with her?
I started discussing them with her in July.
What did you offer her?
I didn't offer anything. I offered to go over the medical bills with her
Yes.
and come to some sort of settlement. She was first seeking $10,000.
Yes.
We met again, and we came down to a $5,000 settlement based on the fact that these bills were true.
Okay, well, did you read the report from the detective?
No, I didn't
Well, the
receive
report from the
that.
detective indicates that the detective had conversations with a treating physician, whose report I do have here, who indicates that she was in fact injured, that the tenderness in her head was consistent with that injury, that in the opinion of the doctor it was a result of being hit in the head. Okay? Now, whether she had medical bills or not, even if she had no medical bills, you're still responsible. You're liable. You hired somebody to work in your establishment who you shouldn't have hired. I don't know what kind of background investigation you did, but certainly you're responsible. If somebody walks into your bar and a member of your staff assaults them, you're liable. You're liable for her pain and suffering. You're liable for her humiliation. You're liable if she gets dizzy, if she has flashbacks, if she has nightmares. Don't you get that, Mr. Wade?
I understand that. That's why we asked Kim to settle with her to see what the amount would be.
Well,
to settle
then
with.
let me ask you this question, sir. What was the amount that you ultimately offered her?
They talked a discussion about $5,000. And she was
So what are
ready.
you doing here? If you offered her $5,000 and that's the maximum that this court can award, why are you here?
When Kim went to settle with her, we said about 7 to 10 days that we'd check the bills and get back to her. Now, on the 9th day, she called Kim up, yelling and screaming at her, and said, if we don't have the money by 5 o'clock that day, the deal's off.
Let me ask you a question. If you said you understood what I just said to you, that whether she had medical bills or not, she was assaulted in your bar by one of your employees, and you are responsible. If she had a headache for 3 days, if she had dizziness, if she had tenderness in her head, which is consistent with the medical reports that are here from the detectives. You're responsible. How long did it take you from July to get back to her?
It was probably August when I was told her we'd probably, if he agreed to it, we'd settle in 7 to 10 days. On the 9th day, she called me and told me I better effing figure out a way to get her money tonight or I'd be sorry. Then she called me back again.
So just a minute. So you told her you were going to settle with her in 7 to 10 days. On the 7th day, you didn't settle with her. Get her a check. On the 8th day, you didn't settle with her. On the 9th day, you didn't call her. She called you.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, can I say something?
Sure.
The 7th and 8th day was on a Saturday and Sunday.
Then she shouldn't have said to her 7 to 10 days. She should have said to her 10 to 14 days.
I didn't do that.
You have a responsibility, Mr. Wade, that when you hire a security guard in your place of business, that you've done an appropriate background check. Now, I'm not going to ask you what kind of background check you did on this woman, because I don't think you did one. Because anybody who is convicted of assault and then takes off, this is not their first offense. This is not the first time that they have been involved in the law. That's your responsibility. And if because of your dereliction and your responsibility to make sure that not only are your doors covered, that people don't sneak in, but that your patrons are safe in your establishment, safe from being assaulted.
Julie Lagos claims nightclub owner Jack Wade owes for damages from an assault. Julie claims she was punched in the head by a female bouncer.
Now, according to the police, this lady was not intoxicated. She was not sloppy. What are you laughing at? Are you inappropriate or what?
She said she filed a report the next day. I just heard her say that.
On 11/27, date of the incident, I was dispatched. I officer was dispatched to South Manchester. Is that where you are, sir?
Yes.
All right. She was not intoxicated. That's the detectives. Why do you think this is funny?
I'm not laughing at you.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think I was right.
I'm very excited that justice was served.
I don't want to get into that.
Words can't even say. I've tried and tried again, and he played me, and now he's the one that got played.
I have nothing to say.
He was slick and just didn't want to deal with Julie.
I don't want to talk about that.
On the last day, he told me, see, try and take me to court, and I took him to court, and I prevailed.
I'm very upset right now.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Andrews versus Amadon Danforth. Step forward, please.
Homemaker Kathleen Andrews is suing her son's ex-girlfriend, 15-year-old student Leanna Danforth, and her mother, Amber Amadon, for the cost of a cell phone. Kathleen claims Leanna smashed the phone when she caught her son cheating.
No. How old are you?
17.
17. Girlfriend? Former girlfriend.
Yes.
Your name?
Leanna.
Your name?
Josh.
All right, Miss Andrews, you bought Josh a phone.
Yes.
Leanna got angry with him because she found out, or she believes she found out, that he wasn't faithful in their relationship, and somehow the phone got broken, right?
Yes.
How'd you break the phone?
I smashed it.
And you want her to pay for the phone?
Yes.
And you say you don't have to pay for the phone because that's what he gets for cheating.
Yes.
Ah. You're suing on behalf of your son because he's 17. You're 17?
15.
15. Don't you all have better things to do with your time? How much was this telephone?
$108.
Josh, you go to high school?
Yes.
What time do you go to high school, Josh?
9 a.m. to 2:25 p.m.
And what do you do at 2:25?
I go home.
What do you do when you get home?
Whatever I'm doing that day.
Like?
Like,
Do you ever have a job?
yeah, I go to work.
It's what we're talking about, Josh. Where do you go to work?
I work at Wendy's.
How many hours a week?
About 20.
Do you have a new cell phone?
No,
Why not?
I didn't buy one yet.
But you're going to,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
With the money that you get from your job, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Then your mother's not out any money. Look, Miss Andrews, your son is 17 years old. You want Miss Amadon to be responsible for her 15-year-old daughter's hissy fit, right?
Yes.
She had a hissy fit because she got a text message on the phone from a girl, right?
Right.
Now, Miss Amadon, she doesn't know anything about this hissy fit that her daughter pulled off, right?
Right.
I'm going to try to give you an analogy that probably is not a really very good analogy, but I'm going to run it up the flagpole anyway. Let's say, instead of having a hissy fit, Leanne, because the hissy fit is not right, took the phone, smashed it, right?
Yes.
Because maybe he didn't do the right thing socially, right? You have another friend that was text messaging you?
Yes.
Let's say one of these two teenagers gave the other a sexually transmitted disease. You think that either one of you mothers would be responsible for that?
No. No.
So why do you think Miss Amadon should be responsible for her daughter's hissy fit?
Because the phone was in my name. And I got it so I could keep track of him, you know, so I could call and check where he was going, who he was with, type deal. And
he used it for other things too. I don't see Mrs. Amadon paying for her daughter's hissy fit. So you're going to buy yourself a new phone from your money at Wendy's, right?
Yes.
This is a very, very good lesson for you, Josh. Women don't like to be made a fool of. Sometimes they cut your clothes in half with you in them. Sometimes they take bleach and they pour it all over the interior of your car. That's what women do. Right?
yes.
Men don't react that way. You know, they just go out there and get dirty. Women think about how they're going to get even. So I want you to think about that next time you have a girlfriend and decide that while you have an exclusive girlfriend, you decide to be a non-exclusive. That's not saying you have to be exclusive. I think you should play the field until you're 40 if you want to. But if you decide to be exclusive and you're messing around, I want you to expect the unexpected. Always happen. Got it?
Yes.
Goodbye.
What is that excuse? You may step out. Yes, this is case number 372 on the calendar in the matter of Renanda versus Norvell. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Miss Renanda, your complaint alleges that Mr. Norvell's son burglarized your house, took some property that didn't belong to him, some knives, and some of your jewelry. The knives were returned. The jewelry, however, according to you, was not returned, and you want Mr. Norvell to compensate you for the jewelry.
I was going to ask him if he ever got any of it back.
Wait.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Norvell says that at first he agreed to compensate you for some of the jewelry, and he paid you some money. How much did you give her?
I'm not exactly sure. I thought it was over, Your Honor. Around $200.
How much did he give you?
$125.
But then he stopped making payments because he found out something. Now, what's your first name?
Zachary.
Zachary. How old are you, Zachary?
13.
You know this lady?
Yes, I do.
You burglarized her house?
Her boyfriend's house.
What property did you take?
Some knives and a bag that looked like drugs, so I took it.
A bag with drugs?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to state that...
You weren't there with your son, were you?
No, ma'am.
Good. So I want you to be quiet. See, I'm going to get all the facts, Mr. Norvell. Now, Zachary, is this the first house you burglarized?
Yes, ma'am.
What made you decide to burglarize this particular house?
For drugs.
For drugs? What kind of drugs were you looking for?
Marijuana.
Why were you looking for marijuana, Zachary?
Because I had a key made so I can enter the trailer to get drugs from one of my friends that lived there.
Well, why don't you explain that to me?
All right, well, one day he was staying there on the weekend.
Who's he?
Aaron.
Who's Aaron?
Aaron.
For some reason, I don't see him.
one of my friends that used to live there. So
Okay, now this young man, Aaron, I understand from your answer, Mr. Norvell, is the plaintiff's boyfriend's son. Is that right?
Yes.
And his name is Aaron, and he stayed with you and your boyfriend occasionally.
He stayed with his father, yes.
Tell me what Aaron had to do with this, because this is your father's defense. Your father has a defense that, well, Aaron was part of this shenanigans, so he shouldn't have to pay for anything, right? That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Right,
That,
good.
and also
I didn't
the
ask
fact-
you anything else. I just want you to just plant your foot firmly in your mouth. Now, Zachary, did you plan to take this stuff with Aaron?
Yes.
It's not an answer.
Actually, at the time, yeah, I was hoping he would be there, but he wasn't there, so I went in looking for the drugs, and I took the bag that I mistook for the drugs, and it was jewelry, and I didn't need it, so I tossed it.
What do you mean Aaron wasn't there, Zachary?
Well, I thought he would be there because it was the weekend, and he stays with his dad on the weekend sometimes.
How did you get the key?
He brought his dad's key that he gives him on the weekends, so he can go over there and unlock his dirt bike and stuff. And the house key was on it, so he had me make a duplicate of it.
Why did he want you to make a copy?
So we can enter the house to get drugs.
Now, when you say you tossed this jewelry, where did you toss it, Zachary?
On the side of a road, actually.
What was inside?
An old watch that was rusted up and a few earrings.
Now, what made you think this was drugs?
Because it looked like it was in the bag that the drugs is in, because he showed it to me for.
Yes.
The reason why he said before is because he broke into the house a couple days before he took anything. His dad gives him a key-making machine for Christmas or whatever.
You have a list of the jewelry that was there?
I do. This is a paper that he signed, too.
Okay. You signed this note?
Yes, ma'am, I did that
Okay, you
before
signed.
I knew other things was going on.
The answer is, yes, Your Honor, I signed this note agreeing to pay her $2,250 for the jewelry.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, at some point, you decided that you weren't going to pay her for the jewelry, so you want to tell me why, sir?
Because I found out the whole truth, I believe.
Give me the truth, the whole truth, sir, as you understand it.
The truth is that the two kids had a key made so they could enter to her trailer and find the drugs, and which I figured out that obviously there's other things going on over there other than just pot being there. And I am not going to give her money for the purpose of buying more drugs for the kids to have availability to. Plus, she told me that she had found part of the jewelry.
Did you find any of the jewelry?
What I found, I had 2 bags of jewelry in his wooden box that he keeps locked.
Just answer my question. Did you find anything on this list?
No. No, I didn't.
Now, Mr. Norvell, I'm going to try to dissect what you say to me. You say that your son wasn't solely responsible.
No, ma'am, not on his own. The intent was for both kids to enter the trailer. It was a joint thing for them both to have access to the trailer.
Let me tell you something about being a criminal. Have you ever been arrested?
Yes, ma'am, once I have.
For what?
For not appearing.
Not appear. You don't get it. You mean somebody sent you an invitation, you chose not to come, they arrested you, spent 10 days in jail?
Yes, ma'am, I was ticketed and didn't pay. I didn't show up to court.
Didn't show up to court for what?
For driving violation.
Now listen to me very carefully. If you and Aaron were both arrested, and I found that, well, I think Aaron's a better kid than you are. Just because that's what I think. I think he gets better grades in school. I think that he tries harder. So I'm going to put you in jail for 3 years, and I'm only going to put him in jail for 1 year. Would that be fair?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, it would. There is nothing in the penal law, in the criminal law, in any state that says that 2 people convicted of the same crime have to get the same sentence. Blind justice doesn't mean stupid justice.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You better straighten him out, because when somebody starts walking the wrong path, and if their father is making excuses for them, you're going to go and visit him in big boys jail.
And later today,
I did tell her that I was married.
Actually, what he said was that they were going through a divorce. And then I later found out about
the domestic restraining order against him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mary Renander says her former neighbor, 13-year-old Zachary Norvell, entered her home and stole jewelry. Zachary says he was looking to steal drugs.
According to you, Aaron made a key so that you could go in and steal drugs, right?
Yes.
But you didn't go in there to steal drugs. You went in there and you stole knives and jewelry.
Yes.
I didn't ask you for anything.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And Aaron wasn't even there, right?
Yes.
So I don't know what you're trying to teach your son, Mr. Norvell, but I'm telling you, you made an agreement, and you made an agreement with the plaintiff that she would not pursue that. Hey, do I look like I need your help?
I'm sorry.
She would not call the police and have your son arrested, which is something I'm sure you didn't want. And the condition of her giving up that right that she has was for you, and hopefully your son, making restitution to her. And the fact that later you had second thoughts because Aaron was also partially responsible, you're absolutely right. Sue Aaron!
That's right. Why would I give her money for drugs for kids to have?
Listen to me. Listen to me. Sue Aaron for what you think Aaron's share should be in this $2,250. Bring the case before me. Maybe you'll get a positive result. But as it relates to the victim, you pay what you agreed to pay. You have a contract with her. She gave up a right, and you have a son who has to be taught a lesson. What kind of a lesson did you teach him, Mr. Norvell?
Actually, he had to work around the house and do some extra chores, and he was grounded for some time.
Well, that sounds like a plan. I'm deducting from the $2,250 the $125 that was paid, leaving $1,000.
And what about the jewelry that was found, Your Honor?
I don't believe she found any, and you can't prove that she found any.
She did, and my daughter's a witness that she found some.
It's a lie. I did not.
Yes, you told me that you had found some of the jewelry.
The jewelry that he took was my dead mother's.
Listen to me. I don't want to hear anymore. $2,125. Is this the first time you were arrested?
Yes. Actually, I was arrested more than once for this.
Tell me what happened when you were arrested.
Well, they came to my house and they took me down to the police station and put handcuffs on me.
Really? Did you like that?
No.
And when were you arrested again?
Can't remember when it was, but I know I was arrested more than once.
How old are you?
13.
You're age 13 and you've been arrested more than once? You can't remember? And you can't remember what it was for?
City Market.
What do you mean City Market?
He was in trouble because he stole something from City Market, and that's why they asked me not to call the police because he was already in trouble. And the laundromat.
Were you arrested before for stealing at a City Market?
No, I was not arrested for that.
Were you taken into custody?
That was actually the time that he was arrested. He wasn't arrested for this other incident.
Looks are very deceiving. Mr. Norvell, I think that your son is barking up the wrong path, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You better straighten him out, because when somebody starts walking the wrong path, and if their father is making excuses for them, you're going to go and visit him in big boys jail.
Your Honor?
I'm not. Okay. Listen.
The next day, I asked him if he would, next time he felt like breaking into somebody's house, if he would call me and I'll come pick him up and we'll go to Dairy Queen or something. And he called me the very next day. And I picked him up, and we went and had dinner, and just so he wouldn't go break into another place, you know?
That's because I wanted to have fun.
You think burglarizing somebody's house is fun?
No, I wanted to go play PlayStation.
Who else lives in your house, Mr. Norvell?
My daughter, Lena.
I'm sure that you're trying. You better try harder.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I've cleaned up my act and I don't do drugs no more.
He went and bought drugs with the knives that he got out of the house.
I just don't want to give no money out to a person that's going to make drugs available to kids.
Zach doesn't realize what he's taken from me, and his dad doesn't give what he does.
There's something going on there that the kids even know that there's drugs there.
He's left alone all the time. I mean, that's why Zach goes and breaks into places.
Drowned him, and and I've actually got him in treatment right now because of it.
Zach Zach doesn't realize what he took from me, and I wanted Zach to know.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Picone versus Benson. Step forward, please.
Technical writer Louis Piccone is suing his ex-girlfriend, nurse Frances Benson, for a series of loans when she was short on money. Frances says Louis never told her he was married.
Mr. Piccone, you were separated from your wife for a brief period of time. And you were separated because there was evidently some sort of an altercation. She had a restraining order against you. Is that right?
Yes.
And because you probably couldn't be alone for very long, you hooked up with Miss Benson.
Yes.
But you didn't tell Miss Benson about this brief interlude from your wife right away. In any event, Miss Benson was new to the neighborhood, had a few financial problems, and according to you, you made 3 loans to her, totaling $1,200. Then you and your wife reconciled.
That's correct.
And now you want your money back. Miss Benson says she was your girlfriend. She didn't have a lot of money. She was recently moved to the area. Where were you from?
Texas.
And you do what most boyfriends do. You helped her out, gave her money, and she was very appreciative. It wasn't until after you went back to your wife that you wanted the money back. That
correct.
Did he tell you he was married?
No, ma'am, he did not.
Was he wearing his wedding ring?
No, ma'am, he was not.
What?
Well, I did tell her that I was married. I didn't have my wedding ring on, but I did tell her the situation that I was in.
What situation did you tell her, Mr. Piccone?
That my wife and I were separated at that time, and that I wasn't sure what was going to happen.
Does that sound familiar?
Actually, what he said was that they were going through a divorce. And then I later found out about the domestic restraining order against him.
Why don't you tell me about the loans that you're suing for, Mr. Piccone?
Maybe 2.5 weeks or so after I met her, she had made a statement that she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to go out with us. And I pressed a little bit, and it turned out that she was worried because she didn't have enough money. And so I said, well, I can lend you $100, and you can pay me back when you get paid. And she's an RN, so I figured she makes pretty good money. She can pay me back, at her next paycheck. Then the following week, the same type of scenario. So I gave her another $100 in. I said, you can pay me back on your next payday. When her payday came around, which was October 4th, then she sent me text messages and says, please don't talk to me about this. I'm embarrassed, but I need about $1,000 to get my head above water because I wrote some hot checks before I left Texas. And so later that night I went over there and talked to her. I had the cash on me, so I gave her $1,000.
Well, what did you say to her, and what did she say to you?
She explained that she was just behind and that her family was...
What behind in what, Mr. Piccone?
With the hot checks, and she said that nobody in her family...
Explain the hot checks. I'm sure that you asked her for more of an explanation than just hot checks.
Actually, I didn't. I didn't ask what the hot checks were for. I just took her word for it. She was a very nice person. I mean, I didn't have any reason to suspect her of lying or anything otherwise. I mean, I had always thought she was a really just an upfront, nice person.
Who are you?
I'm his cousin, and I went out with him that night, and I also... He asked me whether or not it was a good idea if he should loan this girl the money, and I told him that he knows her best. And
you mean you're talking about the $1,000?
Yes, the $1,000. And I told him he knows her best, and if he thought it was a good idea, he might as well go ahead and do it. And
do you remember when that was, sir?
The beginning of October.
When did Mr. Piccone go back to his wife?
Mr. Piccone went back to his wife towards the end of October.
When did you tell Miss Benson that you were going back to your wife?
I don't think I ever did. We had stopped communicating by the time that I ended up back with her.
Why?
Well, because she told me to F off in so many words on the text.
Why?
Because she came out to the club when my cousin and I were out and brought his girlfriend to try intentionally to set him up, just to catch him. She was really jealous, his ex-girlfriend. And so there was a fight that night. And
so you had an argument with her?
We had an argument, and then...
Okay. Okay, Miss Benson, go ahead.
I had asked him, I said, I am having some financial problems. He was wondering why I was upset. I told him I needed around $1,000, and he gave me the $1,000, and I expected that it was a gift.
What kind of financial problems were you having, Miss Benson?
Well,
you're a nurse, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Why should you have such terrible financial problems?
Because I help my family back home in Texas.
Oh, that's not a reason. That's baloney.
Well, it's the truth.
No. You don't borrow from strangers so you can help your family.
No, I didn't
Sorry.
borrow. I didn't borrow the $1,000 from him.
You don't take money from strangers so you can support your family back in Texas. What's wrong with your family?
I just have my grandmother. That's all I have.
So, if that's all you have, explain to me why you left Texas and your grandmother.
Because I got a traveling nurse position, which was supposed to help me make more money, and they were going to pay for my housing and everything. And so I thought it was an opportunity to get ahead.
And
so far, it's panning out, but
what?
I mean, so yes, now financially I'm okay.
Great, then you pay him back. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
All right, excuse you may step out. 3:20 on the calendar in the matter of Gwathney versus Hicks. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Thank you.
Have a seat. You're welcome.
Miss Gwathney, the defendant is a friend or was a friend of your sister's.
Correct.
According to what I read, you were visiting at his home.
Yes.
Your sister was there?
Yes.
And maybe some other people. According to you, Mr. Hicks, for no apparent reason, assaulted you, causing you some serious physical injury. He was, in fact, arrested for that assault and ultimately acquitted, found not guilty.
Yes.
So you are suing him civilly for the injuries that you sustained. Mr. Hicks says that you, in fact, instigated this fight. You hit him. You had been drinking. He is counterclaiming. He wants money for the cost of defending his criminal case, as well as damage to his door that he claims that you caused. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When had you gone over to Mr. Hicks's home?
October 24th, 2003.
What time?
Probably about 7, 8 o'clock.
In the evening?
Yes.
Who did you go over with?
With my daughter.
How old is your daughter?
She was 1 at the time.
And where was your sister?
She was catching a cab over there. She was on her way over with her 2 children.
What were you going to do at Mr. Hicks's home?
Just getting out of the house that I was staying in. We was going over there to kick it, have fun.
Had Mr. Hicks invited you to come over?
Yes, he did.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. What happened when you got there, Miss Gwathney?
What happened when we got there, okay, we was sitting down. He went and got some beer. There was another girl there, and we was just, at the time, just talking, having fun. My sister came in. Her and the girl had left. I watched the kids while she was gone. All the time, he was talking about this girl, how she was, you know, just talking real bad about her.
You mean the girl that your sister was with?
Yes. So when they got back, my sister and her was in a room. And I went up in there and I asked the girl, did she want to move in with me? I told her she could pay me $25 a month and I let her stay with me. Okay, Mr. Hicks got upset.
Did you know her?
No, she was a friend of my sister's.
And you had never met her before?
No, I haven't.
So you went over to her, never having met her before that evening, and said to her, would you like to move in with me for $25 a month?
Yes, I did.
How old are you?
I'm 25 now.
Who else lives in your home besides your daughter?
Just us two, my daughter and myself.
Well, what did you know about this girl who you asked to move in with you?
I didn't know too much about her, but my sister knew her, and I figured that she needed some help at the time.
Okay, so you asked her if she wanted to move in with you for $25 a month.
Yes.
And then what happened?
Mr. Hicks got upset. He told us that we had to leave. He grabbed my daughter by her arm, pulled her out the room. I got up, I asked him, why is you touching my child? And he grabbed me by my neck, slammed me against the wall, and slammed me on top of the glass table.
And what happened to the glass table?
It broke, and my back, I missing skin off my back and had 7 stitches put in.
So that's how your back was injured, because the glass top table broke?
Yep.
Then what happened?
There's another guy that was there. He came in, he grabbed Dennis up off of me, and I ran out of the room, ran into the living room, grabbed his phone, called 911.
Grabbed whose phone?
Mr. Hicks' phone.
And the police came?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Hicks, let me hear your version of these events, sir.
Your Honor, Miss Adams, who is Miss Gaffney's sister, right there, she was already at my home with her 2 kids. Miss Gaffney called my home looking for her sister. She asked, was her sister there?
Does that sound right? Is that coming back to you now?
No, it's not true.
Okay, go ahead.
So therefore, I stated, yeah, your sister's here. So then she asked, could she come over? I told her no, because of a previous incident that had happened.
What was the previous incident?
What the previous incident was her and her sister were at my home one evening, and she was drinking and everything like that. She went into the bathroom. A half hour had elapsed, and me and her sister started getting worried. So we finally got the bathroom door open. She was sprawled out on the floor of the bathroom, and my pills, my medication, I'm an epileptic, were on the floor as well. Bottle open, pills sprawled out. We dragged her from the bathroom into my bedroom, put ice on her, you know, tried to smack her to get her to wake up and everything like that. Finally, she woke up. So I had that incident in my mind.
So you told her not to come over?
Right, but...
Does that sound like something that may have happened, Miss Adams?
I have something to say.
Miss Adams, listen to me very carefully.
Yes.
He's just described an incident where you had to go into his bathroom to retrieve your sister from the floor of his bathroom. Did that or did that not happen?
Yes, it happened.
Good! Now sit down.
Nope.
Okay. Go ahead.
After that, everyone kept saying, no, man, come on, let her come over, man. So finally, I gave in. So what happened then was she came over, everyone had started drinking and everything like that. The lady walked in. I'm calling her the lady. Okay, it's the same one she offered the $25 to for the room.
Gotcha.
She came in, looked at Miss Gaffney and said, ooh, she got a nice fatty.
A nice what?
Fatty.
Fanny.
Fatty.
Fatty.
F-A-T-T-Y.
A nice fatty. What does that mean?
Backside.
Rear end. Okay.
And smacked her on her backside. Okay? Miss Gaffney smiled a little bit. So then the lady, Miss Adams, they went into the bathroom for about maybe 5 minutes. They left.
Miss Adams and the lady left?
Yes, they left.
Okay.
So therefore, it was just me, Miss Gaffney, Johnny, Lanier. Okay? She was drinking and she was talking about the lady and everything. So me and Johnny, who knew things about this lady, tried to tell her, do not mess with her. Don't get involved with her. You know, she's no good. She will steal from you. She will rob from you. She has a
bad news.
She has a disease, okay?
Bad news.
Exactly.
Got it.
She didn't want to listen, okay? She said, I'm grown. I'll make my own decisions, who I mess with, who I don't. So then I simply told Miss Gaffney, I said, okay, if that's the way you want it, fine. As soon as they come back, y'all can leave, just like that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They were in the room smoking marijuana, and so I patted her daughter behind the neck, and I said, you shouldn't be in here while they're doing that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tanya Gaffney says her sister's former friend, Dennis Hicks, body slammed her on top of a glass table. Dennis says Tanya hit him in the head with a beer can.
Okay. Go ahead.
So they came back.
You mean Miss Adams and the lady?
Right. Came back. And so they all went into the bedroom. So we're sitting outside and everything.
What did you think they were doing in the bedroom, Mr. Hicks?
I have no idea.
Okay. Go ahead.
You know, that would be speculating on my behalf. I can't do that. So we were all just sitting outside and everything like that, you know, in the living room.
Where was the little girl at the time?
In the bedroom with them. So then I went into the room. I said, excuse me. I said, y'all got to go, man. I said,
okay, you wanted him out.
I said, y'all got to go. So I left, went back and sat on the couch. About 10, 15 minutes went by, came back again. I was just totally done with it then. I said, yo, y'all got to go or I'm going to call the police. Miss Gaffney stood up. Her daughter was right next to her, was right near the door. So they were in the room smoking marijuana at that time, okay? And so I patted her daughter behind the neck. I did not grab her arm or anything. I patted her behind the neck and I said, hey, I said, you shouldn't be in here while they're doing that. The lady screamed out, girl, don't let him touch your daughter. What he touching your daughter for? She got upset. She came in my face, she started hollering, she started cursing, took a beer can, hit me right upside the right side of my head with it, and started hollering, get off my daughter, get off my daughter. So what I did was I put my head down, I wrapped my arms around her, and I pushed her up against the wall, okay? So she's still hollering and punching and screaming. At that time, the table was approximately about 1 foot from where we were. And she moved, she slipped, we both fell on the table.
But her back hit the table.
Yes,
He
it
fell
did.
on top of her.
Yes, it did.
And that's how it happened.
Yes.
Okay.
At that time, my friend came, he lifted us off.
Excuse me.
She ran out. So then I came out, noticed that the cell phone was gone. So I figured she took it. So she was outside. So then about 15, 20 minutes later, I hear this bamming on my door. I'ma kill you. Bam, kicking, everything. So I'm looking through the peephole. Next thing I know, I see her with the phone in her hand. Bam! And she smashed the window. At that time, I just went back into the living room.
Got it.
So then the cops came. Oh.
Cops came, you were arrested. You had a jury trial?
It was not a jury trial,
You had
Your
a
Honor.
bench trial for
Yes,
a judge.
Your Honor. Yes.
Did you put on a case, Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Did you have any witnesses?
I had 4.
At the trial?
Yes.
You had 4 witnesses. Who
Yes.
testified at the trial?
No one.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Why is that?
Because she had no witnesses.
So she testified only at the trial?
Yes.
So you rested. After she testified, you rested.
Yes.
And the judge dismissed it.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Now I'll hear you.
He's lying about me trying to give him an uppercut, whatever, trying to hit him.
Is he lying about you smoking marijuana in the bedroom?
He's lying about that, too.
I don't believe that.
I swear, he's lying. I admit I do smoke weed, but I didn't smoke weed. I ain't had no money that night.
What were you doing in the bedroom?
We was in a room talking.
What were you doing in the bedroom?
Talking.
When Mr. Hicks came in and told you to leave, why didn't you leave?
He came in there once and told us to leave.
I just said to you, listen to me very carefully. When Mr. Hicks came into the bedroom and told you to leave, why didn't you leave?
We was going to leave. We had 3 kids. We had my nephew was on the couch asleep. My niece was in the room with us, and my daughter was in the room with us.
And is what you're telling me that you or anybody else in the room wasn't smoking marijuana
No,
in there?
it wasn't.
I don't believe you.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Okay, now, he is lying about all that, Judge Judy, because he came in the room and he said he grabs her daughter by her arm and was like, get out, you got to get out, like that, right? So he came in the room, they got to arguing because he grabbed her daughter. So they got to arguing, and he just took his hand and put it around my sister's neck like this, threw her against the wall like this, and threw it down on the table. And that's what happened. And I tried to help my sister, but I couldn't because he's strong. He's very strong, and I couldn't help my sister just because.
You should have left when he told you to leave.
Left? He only told.
Now listen to me. You should have left when he told you to leave.
I understand what you're saying, Judge.
Good. Now, so sit down.
Tanya Gwathney claims she was assaulted by her sister's former friend, Dennis Hicks. Dennis says Tanya hit him in the head with a can of beer.
What else?
I have pictures.
Can I see them, please?
I have pictures too.
Sorry.
A picture of the table, and that's the window. And
Mr. Hicks, the time immediately prior to this October 24th date, was that the date that Miss Gwathney collapsed in your bathroom?
No.
When
it was the time prior to that.
Okay. So there was one time when she came in, she didn't collapse in the bathroom.
Correct.
So why were you so adamant about her not coming over?
Because I still remembered that one time.
But you had invited her over after that.
Yes, but it was still on my mind.
That doesn't make sense, Mr. Hicks.
Okay.
It would make sense to me if she had collapsed in the bathroom, which I believe she did.
Okay.
And I believe she probably opened up your pills, and your pills were hanging out there.
Okay.
And I can understand you saying, I don't want her to come back, because that I believe. I believe that happened. Do you understand?
Yes.
And where was your daughter when you collapsed in the bathroom?
Was she asleep? I think she probably was asleep at the time.
What makes you think that age 25 you can subject your daughter to that kind of behavior?
Well, see, at the time I was suffering. I suffered from depression and stuff.
You think that alcohol's going to make you feel better?
No, and that's why I was getting help for it.
You were getting help? Were you getting medication, taking medication?
I was getting help. I was getting help for it.
Do you believe you acted appropriately on the 24th of October?
Yes, because I didn't put my hands on him. I didn't touch him.
I asked you a question. Do you believe you acted appropriately on the 24th of October?
In the incident, yes, I do.
You were there, according to you, 7 or 8 o'clock, and you were drinking, and everybody else there was drinking. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that an appropriate situation for your daughter, who had already been involved in one drinking incident with you?
No, it's not.
So I'm going to ask you again. Do you think you acted appropriately that evening?
No.
Me neither. You got into an argument with him, you got into a fight, whether he pushed you, whether you were tussling around, whether you fell, told you to leave, you didn't leave, you probably
He only asked me to leave once, Judge Judy.
So what?
And we was about to leave. He came in the room and he assaulted me.
No, I don't think he assaulted you. I don't think he assaulted you without provocation.
Can I show you something?
Sure, you can show me anything you like.
This is his arresting booking sheet. At the top, he was violent with the officers. And my doctor's statement, I have pictures also.
I'm looking at the photographs of the injuries from the glass. Are there any other injuries that you want to show me that are depicted in these photographs, other than from the glass? The answer is either yes or no.
No, ma'am.
So you had no other injuries other than the cut from the glass, is that right?
Right.
And you told the police that he punched you? Where did he punch you? Where did he punch you?
I don't know.
And that he kicked you about the body. Where did he kick you?
I don't know.
That doesn't show up in any of the photographs.
I understand that.
There is no evidence on any of the photographs that you've shown me of any punching, any kicking, nothing. The only thing that there is evidence of is that you fell into a table and your back was cut.
I didn't fall.
Oh, yeah, you fell. He fell on top of you. Whether
If he fell on top of me with his hands around me, he would have had cuts too. He didn't have no cuts, no injuries on him.
Listen to me. You have no case. You were an invited guest into his house. He told you to leave. He didn't like what was going on in the bedroom with you 3 girls with 3 little children in there. I don't believe that he assaulted your child, which is what you are suggesting, that he grabbed your child. I believe you got angry. I believe that you were a little looped, which you shouldn't do. And I don't know what kind of medication you're taking for depression, but if you're taking any medication for depression and you couple that with alcohol, that is not a good combination. You have a year-old child, and your responsibility is to take care of a year-old child, not to do stupid things like inviting a stranger to come and live with you for $25 a month. You have to start using your noodle if you have a child that you're supposed to be taking care of. Now, Mr. Hicks, to be honest with you, I am not impressed with your counterclaim against the plaintiff. Your counterclaim against the plaintiff wants damages as a result of her having you unlawfully arrested. And the truth of the matter is, she was injured. Her perception of it, no matter how drunk she might have been that evening or how high she might have been that evening, was that she was injured. And you were responsible. You should not have invited her over to your house, sir. She had already indicated to you on one occasion that she couldn't hold her alcohol. She was there with a child. According to you, 2 times previously, she had gotten into your pills in the bathroom. She collapsed. What do you need that for? Not smart, sir. The incident that occurred here was unfortunate. She was injured. She was critically injured. She had a couple of stitches in her back because the table broke. I don't know what evidence was produced before the judge at the trial, but certainly the judge was unimpressed with Miss Gwatney's story. I am too. I don't think it happened that way. I don't even think you remember what happened in any event. I'm dismissing your claim. And Mr. Hicks, think twice before you bring children into your house in circumstances where their parents can't control their alcohol. That's it, sir. Your counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
I mean the $47 for the window.
That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Broussard versus D'Alessandro. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Mr. Broussard, this young lady used to be your landlord.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, she embarked upon a course of conduct of harassment, filing false restraining orders against you, ultimately evicting you from the place where you had lived for some period of time. You want to be compensated for that.
Right.
And Ms. D'Alessandro said everything that she said was in her applications were true, and you were a terrible tenant. You also have a claim against her for slander. You say that when you ultimately applied to other apartments to rent, and they called her to verify your tenancy, she said bad things about you, so it made it virtually impossible for you to get another apartment.
That's correct.
Now, I gather, Mr. Broussard, that you lived in this house. It was a house?
She lived in the house up front. I lived in an apartment in the back.
And you had lived there prior to Miss D'Alessandro moving in because a relative of hers owned the house, and you were the relative's tenant.
Right.
Who was the relative?
My mother.
And what was her name?
Loretta Wallace.
When did you first move into this apartment in the back?
It was approximately 7 years ago.
Did Loretta Wallace ever bring eviction proceedings against you?
Never.
When for the first time did you file notice to quit or pay against the plaintiff?
That would have been in early October 2003.
What happened?
After I had received title to the house, or during the time the transfer was going on, I was in the process of sort of getting my ducks in the row to start making renovations on the apartment building.
What apartment building?
There's the house in the front is where I live. There's a 3-unit apartment building at the rear of the property. And
you live in one of those units?
Right.
Go ahead.
Everything was going smoothly as far as I was concerned, and I had actually started to make renovations in one of the other apartments and had told Mr. Broussard and his girlfriend, I said, look, you know, I'm going to be doing the same thing to your unit at some point very soon, and, you know, just to let them know what was going on and that I didn't forget about them.
When you were making the renovations in the other unit, where were the tenants in the other unit?
That unit was vacant, and the renovations were very extensive.
Go ahead.
So at the end of September, I was at home and I was watering the lawn, and Mr. Broussard came and knocked on my screen door and was complaining about the fact that water was getting on his girlfriend's car. And I told him, I said, you know what, just a minute, I'm on the phone, I'll be with you as soon as I can. He insisted and he became belligerent, and I stepped outside of the kitchen because I was going to go to the back and simply turn the water off just to get him off of my back. And then he engaged in this verbal tirade in my face so close that he started to spit on me. And it was at that time, it was like, okay, you know what, that's it. You know, I had to do what I felt I needed to do in order to ensure my personal safety, because I was living on the property at the same time, and I didn't feel comfortable with him being there anymore, let alone the fact that he and his girlfriend were going to have to move anyway, because I was going to have to gut the unit to renovate it.
Got it?
Got it.
I didn't have any problems with them, and neither
Let me
did my
ask you this
mother.
question, sir. You want to give me your version of what happened?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
On that date in
Part
October?
of that was true. She did have the sprinklers up real high. And she was home. I went and knocked on the door. I said, Maria, you're soaking our cars. And she looked at me and she said, well, you should have moved them, and slammed the door in my face. And I was shocked. I guess I was holding the screen door, and I must have closed it too hard, and I really upset her. Next thing I know, she comes flying out the door, getting in my face. Now, she's a woman challenging me as if she's a man. We exchanged a few words, a few unpleasantries. I won't lie about that. But I never put my hands on her, and I called myself, so you know what? Let me get away from her before she says I did something to her, before somebody sees me arguing with a woman. As I'm walking away, her boyfriend comes flying up, and I'm walking away going to my house. He comes and gets in my face, and he says, well, basically, Derek, you and Denise have to move. I said, who are you? He said, that's my girlfriend.
Would you stand up straight, please?
I said, well, this doesn't concern you. I said, I can stay here as long as I want to. You don't have anything to do with this property or this matter. I said, get out of my face. So I turned and I walked in the house. And me knowing her, the type of person she is, I knew she was going to do something treacherous, you know, by the 1st of the month. We decided we're going to make sure this rent is due exactly on the 1st. I don't want any funny business with her. Well, we paid our rent on the 1st. She accepted the rent. I have a canceled check. I have a receipt.
Can I see it, please? Mr. Alessandro, did you speak to an attorney before you decided that Mr. Broussard and his girlfriend were going to have to move so that you can do renovations?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
And did the attorney tell you that you can't have them move just because you decided to do renovations on their unit?
No, he did not.
He should have.
Well, and that
he should have.
Ma'am, that was not the reason why I proceeded with the eviction proceedings against
yes,
Mr.
it was.
Broussard.
Just
No,
a second.
it was not.
Oh, yeah, it was.
No, it was not.
The coincidence of you renovating one apartment and then saying to me a moment ago, and he was going to have to move anyway because I was going to totally gut his apartment. Oh, no, he wasn't.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Oh, no, he wasn't.
That's the reason why I filed for eviction against him.
That's the exact reason, because that's what the lawyer probably told you.
No, he did not
There has to be a reason for you. Mr. Alessandro, I want to tell you something. You think you're smarter than I am?
I do not,
You are
ma'am.
not. You are not. And I've been a judge for a very long time, and things usually happen in a rhythm. And let me explain the rhythm to you that is factual. Fact is, he lived there since 1997. Fact is, between 1997 and 2003, neither you nor your mother before you had occasion to file any kind of charges against Mr. Broussard or his girlfriend. Fact. The same month, according to you, that the title passed to you in the house, you decided to get your ducks in the water and remodel the unit behind the house. And according to you, he came and got in your face on that day, and you decided you had to do something to get him out because he was going to, according to you, quote, a moment ago, he was going to have to move anyway because I was going to gut the apartment. That's what you just told me. Those are the objective facts. And what you would have me believe is that all of a sudden this man who had been a reasonable tenant for 7 years became a psychopath.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You just said to me the reason I gave him the notice to leave was because I felt unsafe. Well, what is it? Rent or unsafe? Think hard. Think hard. Rent, unsafe.
And later today,
I was pushed to the ground like this. I felt feet kicking my head and my neck.
And when the cops arrived, what happened, sir?
They cuffed me for drinking and being underage.
He was drunk.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Derek Broussard says former landlord Maria D'Alessandro had him falsely arrested for violating a restraining order. Derek also says after he moved out, Maria slandered him to potential landlords.
On October 1st, he gave you a check dated September 30th.
Yes.
I have a receipt for it.
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
file a notice to quit because he had not paid rent?
No, yes. I was advised to file the 3-day as well as the 60-day based on the fact that Mr. Broussard was habitually late in paying his rent over a period of time.
Just a second. So what you're telling me is that you filed a notice for him to vacate the premises, not because he was late in October, because he wasn't late in October, because he paid you the rent on time.
Right.
But because it started to bother you that before that he hadn't paid his rent.
It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me, and it didn't bother my mother.
So what did you file a complaint for?
I filed the complaint because I felt unsafe with Mr. Broussard being there after he verbally attacked me.
Then what I'm saying to you is, you're not following me, madam. What I said was, he didn't bother anybody before, didn't bother your mother before, didn't bother you before. When he started to bother you was in October when you decided to make renovations on the apartment. Those are the objective facts.
I did not make the decision in October, ma'am. I had started the work on the unit earlier in that summer, approximately June or July.
On his unit?
No, because they were still in it. I couldn't do it.
Right.
But that is not the reason why I filed eviction against him at all.
I don't believe
My mother, I have evidence in here that shows that prior to 2003, Mr. Broussard had a record, a pattern of actually tendering checks that came back in SF.
You just told me, madam, you got to keep your story straight. I'm speaking and you're not listening. You just told me that the reason you gave him the notice to quit was not because of rent. You just said to me the reason I gave him the notice to leave was because I felt unsafe. Well, what is it? Rent or unsafe? Think hard. Think hard. Rent, unsafe.
The rent was not the issue.
Okay, now the rent was not the issue. Is that, I'm speaking, the rent was not the issue. Can I see your notice to leave? Do you have it?
It's in there. And here's the...
Just a minute. Shh. Well, you certainly say here that the reason you gave him the notice, madam, was because of rent.
What document is that you're looking at?
Take a look.
I will say, in my defense...
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Pay attention to me. What's the reason you give in the notice for him to leave?
See, the attorney's office filed this on October the 15th. They made an error, and I have a note in here that verifies that.
Give it to me.
The note?
No, give me the papers back.
The detainer.
Give me the papers back.
The attorney's office acknowledged that they filed the unlawful detainer in error.
When did you file your application for a protective order?
October the 24th.
So, October 15th, they acknowledged they made a mistake, and they withdrew that.
No, not on October the 15th. Well, they did not acknowledge that they made the mistake. I did not know that the unlawful detainer had been filed until the morning of October the 21st, and I have a copy of that paper in here.
Oh.
Now, on October the 21st, when I called the attorney's office to say, what are you doing? I called you on October the 2nd to tell you that they had paid their rent in full and to remove the 3-day and maintain the 60-day.
So you told them that on the 21st of October?
That was the only time I knew that the unlawful detainer had been filed.
Listen to me carefully. So now we get to this objective data. The objective fact is that on the 21st, because you knew that you couldn't get them out because they had in fact paid their rent, right?
That's not...
3 days later, you filed a protection order against them. Now let me see the allegations on which you based the protective order. Let me see it.
Restraining order. Is that what you're asking
I
for?
want to see the underlying allegations where she filed for a protective order. Underlying allegations. Can I see it, please? Description of the conduct. October 2nd, defendant observed plaintiff banging loudly on her back door. Garbage left in the area surrounding plaintiff's residence, and the defendant observed burning rubber in the driveway. October 3rd, he called you a name. October 17th, broken beer bottles left in front of her garage. So all of these things happened, and you filed this 3 days after you told the lawyer you better withdraw that because he paid his rent.
That's because I was hoping he was just going to leave me alone.
Madam, you are full of baloney.
No, ma'am, I am not.
I believe that the reason you got him out and the reason you filed for a violation is because there was no other way to get him out. He had been a tenant. He'd been a tenant for 7 years. You wanted to renovate those 3 apartments, and the only way to get him out was to have him arrested, which is what you did. Judgment for the plaintiff, and the amount requested, $5,000.
That's not the reason why. Good, congratulations, you got your money.
Excuse me, step out.
Judge Judy.
Good, you got you some money now.
I was trying to get over it, but something inside of me told me don't let her get away with this.
It's breaking beer bottles. Okay, so what? I cleaned it up.
38 years, been a law-abiding citizen, and for her just to say, take him away, like I'm a piece of meat.
It's a lot more pleasant place to live now.
She's had ex-boyfriends vandalize her property, so she felt like she could blame it all on me.
He can move on. I've moved on.
Oh, man, I'm so happy. I love Judge Judy.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ward versus Ortega, step forward, please.
Office manager Kelly Ward is suing fellow concertgoer, 19-year-old student Filiberto Ortega for falling on top of her during a show. Kelly says a drunken Filiberto gave her whiplash.
Miss Ward, you went to a concert, a musical concert?
Yes, I did.
And Mr. Ortega was also a guest at that concert, paying custom. Don't get smart with me, sir. Is your claim that Mr. Ortega got drunk? Mm-hmm. While he was drunk, he fell on top of you and injured you.
Correct.
You want to be compensated for your medical bills and for your pain and suffering.
Yes.
And Mr. Ortega said that that's what happens when you go to a concert. He doesn't think that you were injured. He was drinking that night, but he doesn't think that he was so drunk that his falling on top of you, which he hardly remembers, was as a result of his being intoxicated. Is that right, sir?
I'll admit I was wrong for drinking that night, and I learned my lesson, definitely learned my lesson.
Well, let's start with Miss Ward. What concert was it?
It was a Dave Matthews concert on October 5th.
And tell me exactly what happened.
Well, I can tell you what I remember. My witness can kind of finish it up for me. Her and I were sitting in our seats at the time. She was on the end. I was sitting right next to her. All of a sudden, all I knew, I felt something in the back of my head. I was pushed to the ground like this. I felt feet kicking my head and my neck. And from there, it was kind of a blur.
Then you can pick it up from there. Tell me your name.
Lori.
Lori what?
Langdock.
What did you see?
At first I felt something hit the side of my arm, and I thought maybe she's trying to get my attention. So I turned and looked at her and saw her slumped forward in her seat, and I saw the defendant's legs are on top of her head and her neck, and his body was to the seat, in the seat to her left. And I had to kind of pick his legs up off of her, and he kind of fell farther over. Then she sat up just a little bit, and I just kept asking her if she was okay, and then he pushed a little bit past her and he kept falling back on the both of us, so I had to kind of help hold him up until he got right in the stairwell there, or in the stairs, and then I let go of him and went back to her.
You have any medical bills?
Yes, I do.
Can I see them, please?
Sure.
Okay, I'll hear you.
Do I start? I really don't know where to start.
Start when you arrived at the concert, sir.
Right at the concert,
Who brought you?
we actually walked to the concert from a friend's house of mine.
Had you been drinking before you got to the concert?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you drinking?
Vodka.
Tell me what happened to Miss Ward.
I fell over like a couple rows of people, and I was unaware that I heard her that bad. Cops rolled up, and that's the day the music died for me. So.
What do you mean the day the music died for you? What does that mean?
It's a reference to a song.
What happened to you, Mr. Ortega?
What happened to me? I fell. It's simple
And when
as
the
that.
cops arrived, what happened, sir?
They cuffed me for drinking and being underage. I got in trouble for resisting arrest, and that's all pending right now, so I don't know if I can really talk about it, but
No, you shouldn't, because you behaved badly.
May I say something,
Sure.
Your Honor? When we came back, he was actually passed out in his seat at that time.
He was drunk.
Yeah.
I couldn't control myself, and I apologize if I hurt you.
Well, I'm glad you said that, sir, so that I don't have to scream and yell at you and make you appear foolish, which, believe me, if there's anybody who knows how to do that, I am a pro.
Can I also mention one other thing? At this time, I'm unable to lift my 3-year-old daughter. I'm unable to lift a basket of clothes, my 5-pound cat. So
all as a result of being stupid.
And I don't know how long this is going to last. You know, I have a 6-month record for chiropractic, but I could go past that.
Did you see this chiropractor before this
No,
incident?
I've never seen a chiropractor before.
Judgment for the plaintiff as requested. I've calculated your expenses, and they will amount to almost $4,000 by the time you're finished. Your request is for $5,000. It's more than reasonable. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Bankston, who are these people?
This is April Holgren, Bo's daughter, and my fiance, Randy.
And who is this?
It's my fiance, Tara Harris.
Everybody brings a fiance. What do they have to do with this case? Anything?
She's seen some stuff and heard some stuff, and other than that, that's about it.
Okay. According to what I read, Miss Bankston, he used to be a friend of yours or a boyfriend of yours?
He used to live with me.
Live with you as a boyfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
And then he went to jail?
No, ma'am. He lived with me after he came out of jail.
What year did you go to jail, sir?
In January '92.
And how old was April in 1992?
7.
Who did she live with?
When I was in jail, she was living with my mom and my dad.
What happened with that?
They died.
When did they die?
In '96, my dad died, and in '98, my mom died.
What happened in 1998?
She went to live with a friend of mine for a little while, and her mother come got her. After that, Mary went and got her at a motel room.
How old was she at the time, Miss Bankston?
She was 13 when I took her.
How did you find her in a motel room?
She called me and told me she wanted something. She hadn't eaten in a few days, and I took her something to eat. And when I got to the motel, it was a bad place for her to be. And so I took her with me, and I raised her until he got out.
When did you get out?
In 2001, October 2001.
Were you in communication with Miss Bankston while your daughter was living with her?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you tell her in this communication?
Told her I appreciated everything she was doing for her.
Who was supporting her at the time she was living with you?
I was.
When you got out of jail, Mr. Holgren, where did you go?
I moved in with Mary.
Mary and your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to work?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you start supporting the household?
I was pulling my share, ma'am.
What was he paying for?
He was paying like the electric bills, and I paid the house payment because it was my house before he came along, and he paid the electric bill and things like that. He was pulling his weight as long as he lived there. Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever ask Miss Bankstrom how much she spent on your daughter while you were incarcerated?
No.
Why not?
I don't have any idea why I didn't.
Well, this lawsuit's very simple. It says that at some point you used her credit card after you got out of jail while you were living with her. You used her credit card. You told her you would pay for the bills on her credit card, and you didn't. And you owe her some money, $1,100.
Right.
So?
She got me some credit cards off her account, and went and ate on them and done some stuff on them. I took my boy to World Series, Little League World Series up in Oklahoma on a gas card, and other than that, you know, I was paying them until I left.
And so what happened when you left?
I don't know, it wasn't a good scene.
Did you leave with your daughter or without your daughter?
I left without my daughter.
So you left your daughter there?
No, she wasn't living there at the time, I don't think.
Where was she living?
Living in another place.
Where was she living?
She was living with another friend of ours.
Why?
Her and her father did not get along, so she moved out of the house.
Okay. Can I see the charges that he made?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Would you like all the evidence? Or just
Sure. Golden Corral.
That's an eating establishment.
Japanese Palace.
Another eating establishment. I have several eating establishments that we ate at on my credit cards, too.
Well, this is a lot of eating out.
Been 10 years since I ate out anywhere, so we kind of ate out pretty regular.
So why don't you pay for it?
Well, I really don't feel like I owe her anything on that, because I put I done some other things, you know. I didn't trying to get anything from her that I done over there. I mean, you know.
Well, give me an example, sir.
I put a storage building in the backyard. It was like 900 something bucks. I helped put a central air and heating unit in her house. That was labor on there. I put some electrical work in the garage and stuff.
Well, how much do you think it takes to support a teenager, sir? A month?
Quite a bit.
Listen, you know, if you have a large golden retriever, you can't take care of a large golden retriever for less than $100 a month. So
Right.
would you say it costs $200 a month to take care of a teenager?
At least.
Let's try 3.
Yeah, probably.
14 months, right? And she was there 14 months, and you didn't pay any support, right? So why would you stick her with $1,100 worth of bills?
The bottom line is that it was kind of crazy over there. Just several things that happened, and you know, she wrecked my motorcycle and all that. You know, right there
She what?
at the end. She wrecked my motorcycle.
She wrecked your motorcycle. I couldn't understand. She
Right.
wrecked your motorcycle. How'd
Right.
she do that?
Well, she took off on it and crashed
That he
it.
wouldn't even had if I had not had financed it for him.
And I was without the motorcycle for 3 months. I paid $500 a month on that while I was in the shop. $6,500 a month.
Well, did she do that on purpose?
Well, I told her not to get on it because she never rode one before, and she took off on it on her own wheel and crashed it. Hurt herself real bad. You know, and then right before I got the motorcycle, I was going to refinance the motorcycle because she kept hounding me about getting it refinanced,
Because
out of her
she was on a
name.
loan.
Right.
Well,
And,
she asked you to refinance it because she didn't want to be on the loan.
Right.
Well,
So
that sounds right to me.
Well, I finally did that, and the day I was
No, he
going
didn't.
the day I was going to refinance it, she called me and told me that she wasn't going to sign off on that loan until I give her $1,000. And I said, well, I ain't give you $1,000. And I went up there and traded it in and got it out of her name anyway.
What a prince. This is your fiancé. Is there anything you want to say to me?
Yeah, do I need to stand up?
You do.
I just have one comment, and that is whenever he went to refinance the motorcycle last year, he got his credit report and got it back, and it was about that thick, where he only had 4 credit cards in his name that he had gotten since they split up. Well, this had 18 open accounts on it.
We're not talking about the charges for those.
I know, but what I'm saying is...
What's your name?
Tara Harris.
Miss Harris, how old are you?
32.
You have children?
1.
How old?
12.
Who supports that child?
Me and him support him, and I get child support.
You get child support from the child's father?
Yes.
Get child support every month?
No, ma'am.
Every week?
No, ma'am.
How often?
Supposed to get it every month.
Yeah, and what happens?
He's been living at my house. He was with his dad. He's been living with us for the last year.
Oh, so before that he was living with his father?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you paying child support
Yes,
to his
ma'am.
father? How often?
Out of every paycheck, weekly.
Now, when you don't get child support from his father, does that annoy you?
Yes, ma'am.
And that child is biologically related to you.
Correct.
And biologically related to his father. How do you feel about somebody who doesn't feel any responsibility to somebody who supports their child for 14 months?
She lived with me for 5 years before he got out.
5 years. And pays for clothes, doctor, shoes, vacation, everything else. And doesn't say, as soon as I get out, I'm going to start paying you back for whatever you laid out, because I know that that's my responsibility. Think that kind of person has good moral fiber?
Actually, I think Bubba does have good moral fiber. He just, he didn't work for 10 years. He didn't have the money.
Well, he does now.
Yes, ma'am, he does, and he
So
greatly
why, just a second.
appreciates.
Just a second. I don't care if he appreciates. You got to put your money where your mouth is, honey. Appreciating is not good enough. How could you say he's got good moral fiber? He's working now. And if his child was supported by a stranger for 5 years, and not only supported by, but nurtured by, stayed with, took care of when she was sick, whatever else, you start paying that back. You start saying that was my obligation. And because I committed a crime doesn't mean that I don't have that obligation. So instead of not paying her support, now, I'm not talking about a year ago or 2 years ago, I'm talking about now. Instead of supporting your child, to whom he is not obligated in any way legally, you should send that money to her. She's not even suing for that money. I would love for her to do that. All she says was he used the credit card, $1,100, and that he should pay. Don't you think he should pay that too? Minimally.
No, I don't think he should pay that credit card debt.
You think he should pay her for supporting his daughter?
He's probably, yeah, I would say that he's probably responsible for that.
Well,
I
she's
know
not
that
suing. She's
claimed
not suing him for that. She says, I took that responsibility on myself, and I'm not even going to pursue that. I just want what he's supposed to pay me on the credit card when he left. You get my drift.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,100. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I felt he can buy other things. He can buy a new Harley, but he couldn't pay me $1,100 for credit card bills that he charged up.
Well, he'll go for it. I mean, I don't know what I've done. If she wouldn't have been here, I don't know where she'd be, you know.
He has somebody else, I have somebody else. We're friends. We have a daughter together.
I'm just glad she's gonna get paid so I don't have to hear him argue anymore.
I will never put nobody on my credit cards ever again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of 48 versus Cratterville, step forward, please.
22-year-old mechanic Timothy Fournier is suing his former live-in girlfriend, 18-year-old Laura Cratterville, for rent and for damage to his property. Laura claims she paid her rent in cash.
Mr. Fournier, the defendant was your girlfriend. You lived together for a while. It is your claim she owes you some money for rent and property that you claim she destroyed of yours. The defendant says that she gave you money every week and that whatever property she had of yours she returned after she received a telephone call from the police. When did you and the defendant move in together? And what kind of property?
We moved into an apartment on September 1st.
In whose name was the lease?
Both of ours.
You have a copy of the lease?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it, please? Mr. Fournier, does your hand always shake, or do I make you a little nervous?
A little of both.
No, I just make you nervous. Don't be nervous. It's a Tuesday. I don't do anything really bizarre to litigants until Friday.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I had a very big loan on a truck. What happened is it was taken and burnt.
Your Honor, that's not true. He took it.
You pled guilty to burning the truck?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Timothy Fournier says his ex-girlfriend Laura Cratterville owes for rent and for breaking his PlayStation 2.
All right, so tell me how much money she owes you and from what?
I have her owing half the security deposit and the first and second month's rent that she had never paid me for. And that came up to...
Well, did you get the security deposit back?
No, because of the damages that she had made to the house.
Did you pay any of the rent?
Your Honor, the agreement was I'd give him $100 a week, and from the date we moved in until the date we left, I'd given him $100 every week except the last week I gave him $60.
Is that right?
No.
Well, how much should she give you?
$15, $20 here for the odds and ends.
Well, did you keep a record of what she gave you?
Of what she gave me, no.
Well, how am I supposed to figure that out, Mr. Fournier?
I have no idea. But I
Me neither.
But I did not...
Me neither. When two children want to play house and then it doesn't work out, you come into court and you say, here, this is my problem, you figure it out. Well, that's not the way responsible people behave. Did you keep a record?
No, Your Honor.
When did you separate?
The day we moved out, on November 15th.
Tell me about it.
We had gotten to an argument that spawned from an online, me talking online about certain people, and then it spawned into like this big giant argument where insults were thrown back and forth till finally we had decided to break up.
Okay.
And I was planning on leaving, so I called my mother so I could pick up my brother's truck. When I went down there to get my brother's truck, and my dad had met me to help me move all my stuff out. When I got there, the house had been ransacked and the door was left wide open.
Can I see it, please?
The door was not open, and the house was not destroyed, except from what he had taken with him.
And that's what the apartment looked like when we had got back.
You made a mess, madam.
Your Honor,
yes, you did.
The house was a mess before we even
no. You made a mess. You made a mess. Absolutely. What? It looks like all her clothes.
A lot of things would look like they're ransacked and thrown around the house.
That's
like
the way
just-
the house always looked.
No. No,
No,
it's
it
always
really
looked
did.
like that. No, no.
That's the bedroom. We didn't have anything in there but clothes. We didn't have a bed. We didn't have nothing.
Nobody
It was-
lives like this.
We did,
Except maybe a
unfortunately.
14-year-old.
We really did.
Well, you should have been neater.
Should have been.
Okay. How did you get out of this lease? I'm curious.
She had signed herself off the lease, so what I had done is I was claiming bankruptcy, so I added that to my bankruptcy.
Why were you claiming bankruptcy?
I put myself into a lot of debt.
How old are you?
22.
How did you put yourself in so much debt that at your age you have to declare a bankruptcy?
I was charged with burning my truck and attempting to fraud. So then when I pled out, I couldn't claim it. So
You're going to have to be more specific with me, sir. You're being very
I
circumspect.
had a very big loan on a truck, and then what happened is it was taken and burnt. And
Your Honor, that's not true. He took it.
You had a truck that was on a lease,
yes,
and you owed a lot of money on it,
yes,
and it broke down.
no, it was crashed and burned.
You were charged with it, and you pled guilty to burning the truck?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay. And then you had to make restitution
Yes.
for the truck. And how much did you owe?
I owed 18 on the truck, 18,000.
So you stuck the leasing company with $18,000.
Well, yeah, I mean, I claimed
What do you mean, well,
bankruptcy.
yeah?
I mean, they came after me and I went bankrupt.
What do you think? You think somebody comes down and gives the leasing company $18,000? When you declare bankruptcy, if you own somebody a debt and you declare bankruptcy, what that means is that they're now stuck with a truck that you burned.
Yeah.
Who advised you to do that? Your father? You didn't advise him to do that, did you?
Nope.
I should hope not. So what you're telling me, sir, is what you did was you decided to lump the whole thing together. That when you declared bankruptcy for this truck, you also lumped together the broken lease.
Yeah.
And you expect sympathy from me, is what I'm asking you.
No, I'm not expecting sympathy.
Ah, perfect, good. All right, so what property do you claim she took or destroyed?
She had taken my PlayStation 2 that night.
Good. Now, she says in her answer that she returned it to you.
She did, but it came back broken.
Where did you get the PlayStation 2 from?
Sears.
And you put it on your credit card?
Yes.
You declare bankruptcy on that credit card, too?
Yes.
Get out of here. Is he playing with a full deck?
Yes.
Does he not understand a concept of morality?
Yes, he does.
Well, it's not evident here, sir. He took advantage of Sears by lumping them into his bankruptcy rather than paying off the credit card. And now you're suing her because you want the money. I assume if I give you the money for the PlayStation that you broke, you're going to give it to Sears, right?
No.
Get out of here. Oh, goodbye. Have a happy life. Dad, you got a lot of work to do. He's 22, maybe still salvageable. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out on the calendar in the matter of Mohajer versus Ramos. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir.
Mr. Mohajer, according to your complaint, sir, you and the defendant had a relationship and have a child together.
Yes, Your Honor.
And while you were together several years ago, Ms. Ramos didn't have sufficient credit to secure a credit card in her own name. You agreed to get one for her, and the condition was that she would make the payments on the card. You and the defendant were living together at the time, and when you broke up, she stopped making payments on the credit card, leaving you a balance of almost $2,000. You want her to make those payments.
Yes.
Plus, you have a complaint against her for harassment, which I will give you about 30 seconds to talk to me about. Ms. Ramos says that she spent a fortune of money on daycare for your son, that you finally were ordered to pay child support. She hasn't seen any child support from you since the order was made in November. That's her defense. When did you live together? From when to when?
As of December 2002, all the way till July of 2004.
And when was your son born?
December 2002, on the 30th.
And when did you get this credit card?
Back of August 2003.
And from August of 2003 until you separated in July of 2004, who paid for that credit card?
She did.
Solely.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you stop making payments on the card, Ms. Ramos?
I stopped making payments after August 10th was my last payment.
Why?
I don't owe him anything anymore. We're not together anymore, and I've paid over $9,000 in daycare. He has not helped me out in any way with my son, even when we lived together.
Well, Ms. Ramos, you originally had an agreement with him, and your agreement with him provided that if he got you a credit card, you would make the payments. Because you had made the payments, according to you. You'd made the payments until August of 2004. That's what you said.
I never asked him to apply for the credit card.
That's not the
issue. He was never
issue.
helping out. He said, I got this card for you. Since I can't help you out with groceries or clothes or anything else, we'll use the credit card and we'll pay half and half every month. That was the agreement. I did not ask him to apply for the card.
So is what you're telling me that you were each paying on this credit card?
No, I ended up paying it because he's this car salesman and he never made enough money. He only had enough money to pay for his new boat. He didn't make that much money.
Who did you live with?
We lived with him and his father and his aunt. And
so you lived in his
cousins.
home?
Yes, with his family.
Who paid rent?
Often he would pay $500 a month to his father, but he didn't pay every month.
Your Honor, I have text
Just
showing
a second. Making excuses, Ms. Ramos. If you made payments on this credit card from the time you got it in 2003 until August of 2004, then that supports the plaintiff's statement that you agreed to make payments on this credit card.
The charges on the credit card were purchases that were made for myself, for him, and my son. All the stuff was stuff for the three of us. That was when we were together, and now that we're not together, I don't see how he can come back and sue me for stuff.
Let me see the bills on the credit card, please. While you were living with the plaintiff, what other household expenses did you pay for?
I got the groceries.
Okay.
And the clothes for my son, and the bottles, and the formula, and all that stuff on the credit card, and I paid it every month.
Okay.
I paid for daycare.
Just a minute. What are these charges for American Furniture Mart in Dallas, 363? What is that?
That was furniture when I needed to move out from his home. I had to buy furniture for my new apartment with me and my son.
So you expect him to pay for that?
I actually made a payment after that on August 10th for $400 to cover that.
Well, that doesn't cover the $306 and $363.
What's the other one?
Supercenter.
Groceries and stuff for our new apartment. I had to get out. It was a very bad situation.
Well, that doesn't mean he pays for it. That's what happens when you're not married. Bad situation, you have to move out.
I would trade in to pay $500 a month any day over paying the daycare, the bills, the grocery, and all that stuff.
Listen, Miss Ramos, you went to family court to get an order of support?
Yes, we did.
And you've gotten an order of support. An order of support was made by the family court in November. Have you paid that award?
Yes, I have indication letter here showing my child support that I paid. Her lawyer failed to get an account number
May I see it, please?
set up, so the checks that I sent were sent back. And I had to beg and plead with my lawyer to get a hold of her lawyer, but her lawyer would refuse to contact us back. So I finally received a letter on January the 8th showing that finally they set up an account number. So, and the checks were mailed out actually about a week ago.
Your Honor, I have where they now are going to garnish his wages because he has not made those payments.
And she'll be receiving those, they said, within the end of the week, if not first
I
of the next
believe he
week.
sent them. I believe he sent
And
them.
I also have where he enrolled his son in the daycare where he's currently at and has not helped pay for it at all.
I have check deposits showing that I made a deposit when he was enrolled, Your Honor.
A deposit of $200, but I pay $800 a month, every month. It's come out of my account.
Just a second.
And I have the Chase account.
Listen to me. Miss Ramos, when you were together, who made more money?
I did.
You are going to pay more money for support for this child than he is if you make more money than he does. That's no question about that. That's just the way things are. But you had an agreement with him. And your agreement with him, based upon the evidence, based upon the course of conduct, was you were going to pay this credit card, and you used it as if it were your own. And I can tell you that because after you left, you continued to use this credit card for things that you needed.
For me and my son. Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not responsible for you. He's not your husband. You chose to have a child
I don't
with him.
deny that I didn't make the charges. I know that I made the charges.
Well, you made the charges, and you made the charges at a time.
He owes me more than I owe him.
Then
as
you
far
have
as
to sue.
daycare.
Then you have to sue it. No. Listen to me.
He enrolled him in the daycare. Let me show you the enrollment.
No, Miss Ramos, you're not following me. Miss Ramos, the court made an order of support. The order of support was what the court believed was consistent with your individual income and the needs of the child. You have a right to appeal that judgment if you like, but what you cannot do is resort to self-help and say, well, I didn't get what I wanted in the child support hearing, therefore I'm not going to pay this credit card anymore, when you made an agreement with him to pay the credit card and you used the credit card as if it was your own. And you did use the credit card as if it was your own because you used it after you moved out of his home to buy things for your new home.
But it's not $1,700 in charges. The other charges were stuff when we were together and stuff for the three of us.
And what I'm
the
telling
agreement was we were both going to pay for that stuff.
No, and I don't believe that. I believe that he paid for certain things. And now I'm speaking. Hey, I'm speaking. I believe that he paid for certain things in the house, and you paid for certain things in the house. He paid the rent, and I assume he paid other fixed expenses, and you paid for food, and you paid for clothing for the child, and you paid for the daycare.
So he's paid nothing for his son.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,800. That's all. I see I'm not getting to you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think he's very jealous. We just separated, and now that I've moved on, I've gotten married.
She's a teacher. She's teaching fellow kids out there this kind of responsibility. It's kind of sad.
He hasn't helped at all.
The only reason she left because I gave him too much attention, didn't give her enough attention.
It's like super dad, you know? He gets all the benefits of being a father. He gets to see him half the time, and then doesn't have to pay a dime. Let's be nice.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Johnson versus Simon. Step forward.
Operator Sharon Johnson is suing her daughter, 26-year-old homemaker Celicia Simon, for an unpaid loan when she fell on hard times. Sharon claims Celicia is trying to call it a gift.
Miss Johnson, this is your daughter, and it is your claim that she owes you for some rent when she lived with you for 3 months.
Yes, ma'am.
And also a loan of $2,500. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Quite frankly, Miss Johnson, I'm not so interested in the rent that you claim she owes you for the 3 months that she lived there. You indicate in your complaint that your daughter and her children needed a place to live. They moved in with you. She agreed to give you $300 a month. She didn't have it at the time. She stayed with you for 3 months. That's $900. And subsequently, you all decided that it would be best if she and her children had their own place to live. She needed rent, first lesson, security. I don't know what it was. So you gave her $2,500. According to you, it was a loan. I'm going to stick with the $2,500 because when your daughter and her children need a place to live, you don't say, you have no money, but I'm going to charge you $300 for rent. You'll give it to me when you have it. That's not what a mother does. Do we understand each other, Miss Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So now let's deal with the $2,500 loan. Tell me when you gave her the loan and what it was for.
I gave her the loan at the end of November of '03, and it was for to help with either down payment or something concerning on a place that her children and her husband were going to move into.
When she was living with you, was her husband living with you also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have a house?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
How large a house is it?
It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
And it was just you living there?
No, ma'am.
Who else lives there?
Myself, my husband, and my 2 sons.
You work?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Your husband works?
Yes, ma'am, he does.
What about your 2 sons?
One of them is in college, the other one is working.
Okay. How many children do you have?
I have 2.
And why did you have to move in with your mother?
I fell upon hard times. I lost my job.
And what about your husband? Did he lose his job too?
He was in between jobs.
What kind of work do you do?
I do phlebotomy work. I draw blood.
And he?
He's a crew member at a fast food restaurant.
How old are your children?
I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
How long have you been married?
I've been married 3.5 years.
Okay, your mother gave you $2,500, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you discuss with her paying her back?
No, ma'am.
That's not true.
Go ahead.
Before I loaned her the money, things were getting tight at the house, and she said she had found a place. Could she borrow some money? I asked her how much. She said $2,500. I said, okay, well, how are you going to pay me? She said, well, Mom, you know, I'll get my income tax check in February, and I'll pay you then. I said, okay. And then a few days later, I went to the bank, got a cashier's check, and loaned her the money.
Did she get her income tax check?
She said she did.
When was the first time you asked her for this money back?
It was in March, because February, she wasn't returning any calls to me.
Tell me about the conversation.
Well, when I caught up with her, I said, CC, where's my money? Mom, I'm going to go in and give you the $900 back. No, 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 no. Where's all of my money? I want my $900 and also want my $2,500. $2,500? I thought that was a Christmas gift. I don't think so. I can't just give away $2,500. And so it was like, but Mommy, no, I don't remember. I remember us making an agreement. You and I, your husband stay in the background like you always do, since he's always on a vacation. So when are you going to get my money? I'll talk to you later on. And when she hung up, that teed me off. So then I tried to take it to court.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Over the course of time, I have given loans, spent loads and loads of money on my children. I would never, ever sue them. Never.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sharon Johnson says her daughter, Celicia Simon, owes for a loan to pay her bills. Celicia insists the money was a gift.
You have 2 brothers.
Yes, ma'am.
You know that your mother gave them Christmas presents?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you discuss that with your brothers?
Yeah, like, you know, just when brothers and sisters get together and they discuss
Well, what did you
it.
talk to them about?
Well, my brothers, one of them was getting a car, and then one of them was getting like screens in his car and the big rims on his car or whatever. So it was just like, you know, I'm gonna get back on my feet by getting into my own place. And my one brother would have transportation so he could get a better job, and the other brother, he's the youngest and the most spoiled.
Well, Miss Simon, what I believe is that you acknowledged that you owed your mother $900 for rent, right?
I think that I was thankful for my mother giving me and my family a place to stay. I wasn't able to compensate her.
What your mother said was, when she spoke to you, you said to her, well, I know, Mom, I know I owe you the $900.
I mean, she was calling every... Your Honor, you don't understand.
No, I understand. I don't think that that's something that you have to call for, but if you acknowledge that you owed her the $900 and you did get your income tax refund, which is what she was waiting for, why didn't you give her back the $900?
It was a tight situation, which is why I, you know, needed help in the first place. My family was just in a very bad spot.
Well, then why didn't you call her and say to her, Mom, I know I promised to give you the money back when I got my tax refund, but things are pretty tight. Why did you wait for her to call you?
She knew I was in a bad situation. I didn't feel like I should have to go to her and explain to her, hey, you know, a couple months later, I'm still in a tight situation. I still can't give you any money.
Why, is your mother rich?
No, she's not rich.
She's not rich. How old are you?
I'm 26.
You have 2 children, you have a husband, you have a home, you're an independent person. That means you have to act like a grown-up.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you borrow money from somebody and you acknowledge at least the $900, then if you can't pay them back, the time when you say you're going to pay them back, you pick up the phone and say, I know I said I could pay you back. Can I get a little bit of an extension? Can I give you back something? Can I give you $100?
It became such a big thing that, like, at family gatherings or whatever, it just always wound up being a big argument. She continued to make a huge scene about it every time we got together at family.
Miss Simon.
Yes, ma'am.
Has your mother always been like that? Oh, yes, big questions, yes or no?
Yes,
Has she always been like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you shouldn't have borrowed money from her.
I didn't borrow money from her. I told her I needed help.
No. You acknowledge that you owed her at least $900. And if you know that that's the way she is about money, you shouldn't have taken other money from her.
That's how bad I needed it. I mean, it was the last option. I couldn't continue to be there in her house. I didn't want to take my family, you know, to a shelter.
Well, what was your husband doing?
He was working.
Was he working 5 days a week?
Not always.
Is he working now?
Yes, ma'am.
5 days a week?
Yes, ma'am.
And what about you?
I'm a homemaker. I take care of my 2 children.
I just asked you what kind of work you did, and you told me that you drew blood.
Yes, ma'am. I just recently lost a child, so I haven't been working. When I found out I was pregnant at the beginning of the school year, I decided to take the school year off just to be at home a little more with the kids and everything, and also because I was pregnant, and I just recently lost my child.
You're not supposed to have more children until you can support the ones you have. Does that sound harsh to you?
No, ma'am.
I hope not. I mean, I'm telling you this because I think that sometimes people lose sight of that. That if you have 2 children and you have to go back to your mother for money, then you don't make more babies. Having children is very nice as long as you can take care of them. Your mother's not a rich lady, but you can't look at your siblings and say, because they got Christmas presents, I should have gotten one too.
But she's not taking any of them to court. She's taking me to court. I'm the only girl. Those are her precious boys, you know. They got money to go and get a car, you know, to go and get screens in his car. I mean, when I was that age, she wasn't giving me money to go put screens in my car.
I don't think that your mother...
I know she can do what she wants with her money.
Yes, I don't think that your mother would say that this was a loan unless she honestly believed that this $2,500 that she gave you was money that you were supposed to return. I think that you've been, for want of a better term, and I don't necessarily like this term, I don't think that you can allow your jealousy of your younger brothers to interfere with the rest of your life. If you feel as if your mother favors the 2 boys...
She does.
Well, I don't know whether you were a more difficult child, a less difficult child, who knows? But you will find that during the course of your life there will ebb and flow with regard to which of your children you like better than others. You may love them all, but at various times in their lives you will like some better than others. Fair?
Fair.
Love them all, but at various times, depending upon what they do, to drive you crazy, to make you gray, you will like one more than another. You can't let that interfere with your whole life. Ms. Johnson, I'm going to award you your $2,500 for this loan that you gave your daughter, but I'm going to give you a little lecture at the same time. over the course of time, I suppose I have given, loaned, spent, whatever, loads and loads of money on my children. I would never, ever sue them in a court. Never. That's not what parents do to their children, unless the children are really, really bad people. And your daughter may have made some mistakes in her life, but she doesn't seem like a bad person. She's reasonably articulate. She's been in a relationship with her husband for a long time. She has 2 children. This is the husband, right?
Yes.
Well, you may not like him. You may not like him, but I want to tell you something. You didn't like your first husband either. Right?
No, I didn't.
Right?
Yes,
so you
ma'am.
made a mistake.
Yes, ma'am.
So she doesn't seem like a bad girl. And I'm telling you that while I'm giving you a judgment for $2,500, I think you made a big mistake by suing her. That's all.
Of Lovegren versus DiNardo. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Mr. Lovegren, according to your complaint, you did what a lot of other people are doing these days, and you bought something off the internet. What you bought was what you thought was a rare comic book, rare and valuable comic book from Mr. DiNardo, who would put it on the internet. You paid him the money, and when you got the comic book, it turned out to be, according to you, not what you had bargained for. Mr. DiNardo says you got exactly what you bargained for. He sent you the comic book that he had, in fact, advertised on eBay or what?
Correct, ma'am.
What kind of comic book was this, Mr. London?
Your Honor, this is an Incredible Hulk comic book, number 181. To collectors, it's a rare comic. It introduces a major character from Marvel Comics, the Wolverine, which means nothing
right,
except to a comic collector. It makes it very desirable.
You're interested in this? All right, let me see the advertisement, please. They put it up on the internet. Somebody puts it on, so they have this for sale.
This is the actual eBay advertisement.
That's what I want to see.
Nice taste.
Okay. This is Mr. DiNardo, and I just want to know if you put this up on the internet. 9.9, the rare, mint, sought-after original. Bidding has ended for this item. Starting bid, $1,200. And then the description. I am looking for a good new home for my issue of the Incredible Hulk, number 181. This book has given me years of enjoyment. I can only hope the new owner gives this treasure the respect and caring it deserves. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Obviously, I'm a novice. I'm not a professional. He's...
Okay, no, listen to me.
Okay.
All I want to know, sir, is this what you put on the machine? On
that is one
on the computer.
That is one of the items I put on the machine.
Okay.
Not the one that we consummated for price on.
Well, just a second. We're not there yet, sir.
Okay, I'm just clarifying.
No, you're not clarifying at all. You're going to listen to me. You're going to answer my questions, because in the unlikely event that you think that because I don't know a computer from a hole in the wall,
never said that,
you're going to be able to fool, and I don't know a computer from the hole in the wall, but I do know legitimate versus scam. That's what I do know.
There was no scam.
Listen to me, sir. He sent you $1,200? No. How much did he send you?
$1,500.
Okay, so there was a bidding on this.
No, he had called me behind eBay's back, which is against the law.
Okay, so he called, just a second, so he contacted you.
Correctly. After I've took that off.
What was the date he contacted you?
I think it was November 15th.
Is that when you contacted him?
It would have been the 13th. I probably sent him an email.
Okay, and what did you say in the email?
The email basically would say, I see your comic did not sell, and I asked if the book was still available. He sent me an email on November 12th.
Can I see it, please?
The book is still available, and it's got his phone number on it.
So you called him?
Yes. I called him, and it was probably the 15th that we got together on the phone.
Okay, called him, he called you, whatever. You got together on the 15th. And did you make a deal for this comic book?
Yes, and I asked him, one, because I can see the picture of that book is a CGC graded comic. A comic like that comes encased in a clear plastic case. It's sealed in here. It is not counterfeitable. It has a barcode. It's registered with the company that grades it.
That's one that you got. That's not this one.
Right. That's just a sample comic, just to show you what it is. I asked him when I talked to him, now this is a CGC graded book at 9.9. He said it was. I said, and you have the receipt for that? And he said he did. That convinced me we were dealing with the real thing.
Okay.
We agreed on the price of $1,500 then, and I wanted to try and pick it up the next day. I called him back.
Because you realized, sir, if you made this deal for $1,500, that was an incredible bargain.
Yes.
Because the value of it was how much?
I figured it could be worth $20,000.
Okay. So you thought that you had some dumb guy who didn't know what he had.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
It happens.
I know it happens. There are a lot of dumb people out there.
Right, and I'm one of them because
right.
I sent them the money.
Because you got a piece of junk and he's got your $1,500.
Right, exactly. Yep.
Go ahead.
So anyway, I tried to call him back an hour later because I had to arrange to. We're 6 hours away.
Let me ask you a question. Cut to the chase. You sent him the $1,500.
I wanted to drive up there and pick it up. That way, I give you the money, I got the book. It didn't happen. Due to my job and maybe his, I don't know, we couldn't get together. On the 22nd, he called up and talked to my wife. He said that he was going to send the comic down to us. If I liked it, I could send him the money. I said, well, that's an incredibly generous offer. On the 25th, we got a call back that said his wife wouldn't let him send the book. Not without it being paid for.
Sure. Right?
Can't blame
a lot
that.
of scammers out there.
Shh.
Sorry.
During that conversation, I said, well, I believed he had this book, that it was a 9.9 graded book. We arranged to wire the money, and that cost $109 actually, plus the $20 shipping.
Still would be nothing if you could sell it for 20 grand.
Absolutely. And I got to tell you, my wife is sitting there, and you know, you're thinking I'm a nut and stuff, but I don't spend $1,500 on a comic. I never have. In this case, I would, and the only way my wife would let me do that would be I said, look it, I sell the comic, you keep the money. So anyway, I proceeded to wire Ray the money.
Sounds like she's the only one who's got a brain here.
Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's already admitted
malice. Listen to me. No, he just thought you were a schlemiel. He didn't realize that you were a scam artist.
And later today,
her children were coming to my house because they were starving, and I'm not using the term lightly.
Where are your children now?
My children are in foster care, Your Honor.
How long have you been involved with drugs?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Lovegren says he was ripped off by Raymond Donardo when he bought an Incredible Hulk comic book from him on eBay.
You wired the money, sent you the comic book, and it wasn't what you thought it was.
What it is just a strictly graded, and I could consider myself a professional grader. This book grades very good to fine condition. On a scale of 1 to 10, the 9.9 is on a scale of 10. This is about a 5.5. Its value is about $300.
And so you contacted him immediately and he said, send me my money back.
Yeah, I said, I don't know, you know.
When you put this 9.9 comic book on eBay, did you or did you not own it at the time you put it on eBay?
I did not.
Right. How can you offer to sell something that you didn't own?
Because I was supposed to own it by the end of the bidding time, but that deal fell through. So that's where the problem is.
That's a big problem.
Correct.
You can't put something on eBay that you don't own.
Why can't I?
Why? Because that's
Dealerships
like
put cars on eBay that are on consignment. They technically do not own the vehicle.
Having something on consignment, sir, is having a legitimate right to sell it.
Okay.
You don't have a legitimate right to offer something for sale that you don't own.
Okay.
And they just so happen to say, I will sell you this 9.9, and it happened to be the same comic book that you had that was that one, right? Same comic book, different condition, right?
Correct.
Karnak. What are the statistical probabilities of one schlepper who knows nothing about comic books having a nexus to two of the same comic books, The Incredible Hulk, at the same moment in history, and putting them on eBay at the same moment in history, one that's worth $300 and one that's worth $20,000? One in 10 million?
More than that.
More than that. One in, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to my friend over here.
All right.
One in 20 million?
Probably more than that.
So now I want you, Mr. Donardo, to reduce what Byrd, who was a very conservative man, by the way, has calculated at a 1 in 20 million plus probability of you having your hands on the same two magazines at the same moment in history when he wanted to buy it. Reduce that for me.
Okay. Actually, it was a week apart, but I had no idea that somebody that had sold so many comic books would think that he would be getting a $1,500 comic book that was sold for $20,000. It just did. I assumed that he was talking about the comic book that I originally had sold. It just doesn't make any sense that he would think, oh, okay, this comic book I'm getting for $1,500, and I'm going to make $18,000 off of that. Does that make any sense? It doesn't. He went behind eBay's back, which is illegal.
Just a second, did you hang up the phone on him?
No, I did not. But he's already admitted
Listen to me.
malice.
Listen to me. No, he just thought you were a schlemiel.
Uh-oh.
He just thought you were a schlemiel. He didn't realize that you were a scam artist. There's a difference between being a schlemiel and a scam artist. Let's say you go into somebody's house that's having a tag sale and you see this comic book in a big old bin of junk that they say, listen, you can buy the whole barrel of stuff for $10. He says, I'm spending $10. This is worth $20,000. That's how a lot of people get paintings and wonderful pieces of antique stuff, because one man's treasure is another man's junk. You see, me, I wouldn't pay a quarter for this because it just doesn't appeal to me, right? Your wife wouldn't pay a quarter for this unless you told her you'd give her the profit, because she's just not interested. But what you did, sir, you see the statistical probabilities of you auctioning off around the same time two of the exact same magazines and one of the ads, putting down here. You have the other ad, by the way?
No, I don't, man.
No, you don't. You don't? Why wouldn't you have the other ad?
Because I moved and the computer...
Because you moved. Where?
It's
Move.
on eBay
Listen to me. Listen to me, sir. Move on this.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500.
Excuse me, can I have
That's
the
all.
Can I have the comic book back?
Bye.
Parties are excused. You missed up.
Can I have the comic book back?
You may not.
Okay, thank you. Well, I had a client at work that was willing to sell me the book for $3,000.
I was told there is only one in existence. It's owned by a comic shop in Hawaii. Its asking price is $50,000.
Never sold a comic book, never used the eBay before, never sold or bought, and will probably not again.
It's all scam.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Pope Joy Swihart versus Ward. Step forward, please.
Student Rachel Popejoy and her father, Dwayne Swihart, are suing their former friend, systems analyst Margaret Ward, for misappropriating bail money meant for Rachel. Margaret says she used the money to buy food for Rachel's kids.
Miss Popejoy, you were arrested.
Yes, Your Honor.
When?
On November the 12th.
What were you arrested for?
I was arrested for willful reckless driving, driving on suspension, and no proof of insurance.
And this was the first time you were arrested for something like that, because
Correct.
they fixed very high bail.
Right.
And this is your complaint. You contacted your father.
Correct.
Told him you were in jail, and could he please wire how much money?
$1,500.
For your bail?
Yes, ma'am.
And he said, probably reluctantly, okay. And he wired the money because you were living where, sir?
In Michigan.
And where were you living?
Omaha, Nebraska.
You wired the money to Miss Ward, who was a friend of your daughter's.
Correct.
With the instruction to go to court and bail her out.
Correct.
And when you went to court, they said you had been such a bad girl previously that the bail wasn't $1,500, but a lot more. How much?
$5,000 at that point.
Which you didn't have.
Correct.
So Miss Ward took $700 and put it in your prison account so that you could, get toilet paper and toothpaste and magazines and gum and whatever you needed. And she kept $800 for herself.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So that's what we're here for today, the $800 that Miss Ward kept for herself. So, Miss Ward, the ball is now in your court, and you're going to explain to me why you did not return the entire $1,500 to Mr. Swihart.
I first became involved with Rachel in June, and her children were coming to my house because they were starving, and I'm not using the term lightly. They were really hungry.
Were you neighbors?
Yeah, they live about 2 blocks from me.
So you started to give them food?
Mm-hmm. And so I did. I started feeding her children all summer. They came to me, and Shelby about moved in with me, and there were times when she and her boyfriend Jason would leave and they'd lock up the trailer. They wouldn't come back for 2 days. It's 90 degrees outside. They had no water and they had no access to a toilet or anything. They always came to me every time, and I took care of her children all summer.
Okay.
Then somebody called CPS on them, and she came to me and asked me for help. So I bought $250 worth of food because they had nothing, and it took quite a bit to put food in. And they didn't have any electricity and any gas. That had all been shut off. So I went down the following Monday, and I paid her electric bill was $186 so I could keep the food cold, and she promised she would pay me back. About a week after that, her boyfriend Jason came up into our house, and they were coming in all hours of night and day. They would come to our house asking for money, and he stole $225 from me. And then a week after that, he came up and he stole another $200 from my granddaughter. So after I couldn't put the bail money down, I mean, there wasn't enough money. She called me the same day and said she talked to them, and they said to put the $1,500, it was okay to go ahead and put that on her books. Well, I didn't really trust that. So
yeah,
after
but you put only $700 on her books at the prison, and you kept $800.
Yeah, for the money that they had stole from me and the money she promised to pay me back.
Where are your children now?
My children are in foster care, Your Honor.
How old are your children?
15, 12, and 8.
They don't have any relatives who can help take care of them?
I don't have any family in Nebraska, Your Honor.
What about you?
We live in Michigan.
That's not Mars.
No, they can move up there anytime they want.
Well, why don't you make an application to the court to take your grandchildren, sir?
They told me they wanted to keep the children with my daughter.
Who did?
The counselors.
Well, are you still with this boyfriend?
Yes, I am. And that we're both clean and sober, have been. We go to meetings every single night.
For how long have you been clean and sober?
For almost 90 days, Your Honor. I've completed a parenting class. I've completed a reactive behavior. I've taken several classes.
Listen to me, my darling. How long have you and Jason been involved with drugs?
For probably 6 months.
And what about Jason? How long have you been with Jason?
For about 8 months. I've known him for a couple of years.
Listen to me very carefully. You're not supposed to be a selfish person.
You're right.
Do you think your children would be happier with their grandparents or in strange foster care?
With their grandparents.
Then you tell the social worker that you would love to be reunited with your children at the appropriate time. Now's not it. Probably until Jason has been clean and sober for 3-4 years. Until that time, the children would prefer to be with their grandparents.
Okay, Your Honor.
Okay, I know you say okay. You're not supposed to be selfish. Miss Ward, bottom line, my dear, you cannot resort to self-help. If you want to sue her for the money that she owes you. And if you want to sue Jason, sue him for the money you say he stole. But you can't take Mr. Swihart's money.
Matter of Young versus Harris. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Young, Miss Harris and you had a long-term relationship, and you have 3 children together, although you were never married. Is that right?
Correct.
How old are your children?
My oldest one's 16.
That's this young lady here.
Yes.
Go ahead.
My daughter Brittany, she's will be 14 this month.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter Ashley, 10 years old.
And how long did you and Miss Harris live together?
Just 9 years.
And all the children were born during that time?
Yes.
Could you just briefly explain to me why you had lived together 9 years, have 3 children, and why you never got married?
We were going to get married at one time, and the next thing I know, I was getting cheated on, what have you, and we could never get along.
I mean, if you were together 9 years, and you have a 16-year-old daughter, after
Correct.
the 16-year-old was born, well, hon, maybe we should make this official. You know, should get married, and then you have a 14-year-old. So 2 years later, you had another baby. Now you have 2 children, and you're living as a family. And 4 years later, you have another baby. So don't go what happened at the end of the relationship. What happened during those years that you were together? Were you married?
No.
Were you married?
No.
Did he ask you to get married?
He tried.
And why didn't you?
Didn't want to marry him.
You wanted to have his children but not marry him?
Well.
Well is not an answer. I'm curious.
No.
You have something against the institution?
No, I just had something against marrying him.
But not against having children with him?
Well, the first one was an accident, and the second one, we went ahead and had the other one. That was another mistake, but I couldn't get out of the relationship. I had tried, and...
And then a third? Wonderful. Okay, this is your complaint. Your complaint is that your 16-year-old daughter, who for some reason gets Social Security...
Right off me.
You're going to tell me about that in a minute. Left her mother's home and went to a friend's house. I assume this is the friend?
Yes.
Friend of yours?
Yes.
And when you found out about it, you said, well, not only am I sending child support to you, also she gets Social Security from me, and you had that changed.
Right.
But there were several months when your daughter's Social Security was going to Miss Harris, and also your child support for your 3 children was going to Miss Harris. You want her to pay you back that money, right?
Correct.
Or pay the money over to...
Pay the money over to my daughter.
Now, when did you and Miss Harris separate?
February 28th of 95.
And you are currently under a child support order?
Yes.
What do you pay?
I pay $25 a month.
$25 a month for 3 children or for each of the children?
No, for 3 children.
And how long have you been paying $25 a month?
Since I've been on my disability.
And when was that?
That was in 2000.
What's the nature of your disability?
I screwed up my hands and my arms, and I screwed up my lower back.
How?
By lifting wire at a plant.
So what do you do now?
Right now, I don't do nothing.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
You mean you plan on not doing... That's 5 years you've been doing nothing?
I do odds and ends.
Like what?
I help the landlord out.
Help the landlord do what?
I go around and help him collect the rent, mow the lawns, do the sidewalks in the wintertime.
Just a minute. You mow the lawns, and you do the sidewalks, and collect the rents.
Right.
Is that in the place where you live?
Yes, yes.
Paid in check or cash?
He takes it off my rent.
How does he take it off your rent?
He takes like $30 a month off my rent.
You think I believe that?
Oh, I'm serious.
Uh-huh. I don't. Now, your daughter left home because you weren't getting along, is that right?
Yes, she didn't like the rules.
Okay, so she left home. And this is your friend?
Yes.
Are you still friends?
No.
When did you cease to be friends?
Well, originally, Ray, Trina's boyfriend, he was the one that I had signed guardianship of Tiffany over to. Okay? It wasn't Katrina that I signed guardianship to.
Did there come a point when you told your daughter that she could stay with Katrina?
Yes.
When was that?
In February.
February of
2004.
And after February of 2004, how many months did you collect Social Security for your daughter?
The checks were directly deposited into my account.
How many months?
6.
How much does she get every month for Social Security?
At that time, she was receiving $98 a month.
And you were getting $25 a month from Mr. Young?
Yes.
And that $25 a month, you want a piece of that to go back to your daughter?
Correct.
How much?
Split it up between the 3.
Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
No, I'm not crazy. It's just...
Let me figure this
care.
out for you. Just a second. I'm going to figure this out for you, just so you see how ridiculous your position is. I have to put on my machine, and I'm not really good at this.
But here we... 8.33.
What?
$8.33.
No. That's $8.33 a month. 8.33 divided by 30 equals 27 cents a day.
Yeah.
27 cents a day is what you contribute to each of your 3 children, sir.
I understand that.
A large goldfish consumes more.
Well, yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The fact that you've been collecting disability for the last 5 years is absolutely outrageous. The one thing I know that you do is you eat well.
And later today...
His roommate came out and said, well, one of y'all gonna fix my door. So I go to talk to him about it like, we're not no... Then he pushes me. So he pushes me a second, and the third time he pushed me, I punched him back.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Young says his ex-girlfriend Sue Harris owes for the return of Social Security money meant for their daughter.
All right. You get back nothing. you're a scammer to begin with, because anybody that can mow a lawn and shovel a driveway can work. And the fact that at 38 years old, you've been collecting Social Security disability for the last 5 years is absolutely outrageous. The one thing I know that you do is you eat well.
Well,
Mr. Young, and I don't believe that your landlord, for the work that you do, takes off $30 or so a month from your rent. That's a lot of baloney. So I suggest you go get a job, because there are people in the Social Security Administration who, fortunately for the rest of the taxpayers in this country, watch us. Now, that's dealing with your $25 that you want $8 back a month for to give to your daughter. That's not dealing with the Social Security. The Social Security payments should have gone to the lady who was taking care of your daughter.
Yes, I agree.
So why didn't you give it to her?
As payee, I couldn't just stop being the payee.
No, you don't have to stop being the payee, but you cash the checks. The checks were direct deposited into your account. You go, you take out cash, $98 a month, and you give it to her and you say, here's money for taking care of my daughter, who was living with you with my consent. You just have to do it. And you didn't. So for that, he's absolutely right. I won't like the fact that he's complaining about it, because he's not much of a provider.
I used the money to support the house on what he wasn't
The house is not the issue. The house is not the issue. Who is this?
That's my husband.
Does he work?
Yes.
Yeah, that supports your house. Do you work?
No.
Well, you should. That supports your house. You don't take the Social Security check that's designed for her and use it to support your house. And if he needs more money to support the house, let him get 2 jobs. Her money doesn't go to support your house. 98 times 6 equals $588. Judgment for the plaintiff, the checks to be drawn to her name. What's your name?
Patrina Silver.
Patrina Silva. Thank you very much. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, I understand what she said, but it was used for the house, and with him only paying $25 a month, it doesn't take care of 3 kids.
I am happy. My daughter's happy about it.
He just loves to control me and think he has something over on me all the time.
I'm not going to sit back and watch you take advantage of your own daughter.
I have nothing against my daughter. She knows she can call the house anytime she wants to.
I'm glad it's done and over with, and I'm very happy with her decision.
I love my daughter.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, White versus Griffin. Step forward.
20-year-old student Vincent White is suing his college classmate, 22-year-old Bobby Griffin, for vandalizing his car. Bobby claims Vincent was spreading rumors about her and her friends.
You all go to college together?
Yes.
Is that the idea? All right. Mr. White, it is your claim that Miss Griffin vandalized your car.
Yes, ma'am.
And Miss Griffin says, well, she in fact participated in the vandalizing of your car. She sprayed it with a fire extinguisher or something, but it was not the defendant who caused the major part of the damage. It was friends of hers who keyed your car. And she feels as if she took responsibility by giving you $8 for car wash, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, first we're going to find out a little bit about it, and then I'll deal with your erroneous assumption. Why did you vandalize his car?
He was going around spreading rumors about me and my friends. We tried to confront him at the dorm.
When was he allegedly spreading rumors about
This
you?
was around November the 11th, 2004.
What was he saying?
He was calling me and my other friends, and we were trying to confront him about what happened, or why was he going around saying this when he knows it's a lie.
Okay. He was calling you bad names.
Yes, ma'am.
And you and your friends tried to find him?
Yes, ma'am.
To confront him?
Yes, ma'am.
How many friends?
It was me, Stephanie Gates, Yolanda, and Natalie.
So you and your friends went to look for him?
Yes, ma'am. Well, we were already at the dorm, so we were calling, and he's like, well, I'm going to be where I'm at. So we go to his room.
What year of college are you in?
I'm a freshman.
And what about you?
I am a sophomore.
And he said to you, I'm going to be where I'm at?
Yeah.
I would say, stay with it.
So we go to his room, you know, to see if he's in there, but his roommate, he was saying that he wasn't in there. The other girl that was with us, Natalie, she went and took the fire extinguisher and broke the door handle. I didn't know about this incident until I was walking down the breezeway when his roommate came out and said, well, one of y'all gonna fix my door. And I automatically turned around like, you're not gonna disrespect me like that. So I go to talk to him about it like, we're not no. And he's still constantly like arguing, and he pushes me. I let the first one slide.
Just a second, who pushed you?
His roommate.
His roommate?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with his car?
I'm getting to that.
Well, let us get there.
So he pushes me a second and the third time. The third time he pushed me, I punched him back. and they kind of grabbed me. So we're still trying to call him to talk to him. We go down and stand by his car. He don't ever come out. Yolanda, the one that keyed his car, that told him numerous times that she keyed his car, she started keying his car. I took the fire extinguisher and I sprayed it down. The same night I sprayed it, it was raining outside. So I fell. I didn't do any damage. And the same night it happened, we talked to him. He was making it seem like everything was fine. We gave him $8 so he can go get his car washed. At then, we thought everything was fine. Everything was done and over with. Now, all of a sudden, we come back for second semester. Now I'm going to court. Why am I going to court when he know I did not key his car? And I have told him I did not key his car. If I do something, I'm the type of person, if I do something messed up, I'm going to tell you, yeah, I did it.
May I see the damage to your car, please? Okay. Step up. Your name?
Stephanie Gates.
All right, Miss Gates, what did you do to Mr. White's car?
I didn't do anything to his car.
You didn't do anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so it was just a couple of people in this little mob that damaged his car?
It was 3, actually.
Okay, good. And they were friends of yours because that's what he was doing. He was telling bad things about you and your 2 friends, right? Mm-hmm. Good. Can I see the estimate, please?
Come on now, you had like 5 papers when I seen you.
All right. Now, Miss Griffin, you appear to be an intelligent young lady.
Yes, ma'am.
Got to stick with your English classes, but I think that you probably have potential. But I'm going to give you an exercise in criminal jurisprudence.
She didn't tell you to sit down. Oh, I'm sorry.
See how smart she is? I'm going to give you an example. Many years ago, when I was a judge in the family court, there was a young woman who got onto the subway, and she was wearing big hoop earrings like your friend is wearing. And a group of 4 girls got on the subway, and they went up to this girl who was on her way to school. She went to Fashion Institute of Technology. And they said, "Give us your earrings." And she said, "No, I'm not giving you the earrings." One of the girls grabbed her arm. Another one of the girls grabbed her hair and pulled her hair over. The 3rd girl stabbed her in the back and stole her earrings and killed her.
Well, I don't think that's something like
Listen, listen. I'm trying to make you understand what this verdict is about. The girl who stabbed her was tried as an adult in the Supreme Court. And the 2 other girls, the one who grabbed her by the arm, the one who pulled her hair, they said, "We didn't kill her. We didn't even have a knife. We were just messing around with her a little bit. We never thought our friend was going to stab her. We're not guilty. We shouldn't be held responsible." You know what I said to them after I convicted them of murder? I said, but for the fact, you see, this girl who had the knife, she couldn't have killed her if it wasn't for the 2 of you. First of all, you're acting as a pack. And when you act as a pack, the pack gets certain energy. And second, if you hadn't immobilized her, and if it was just one-on-one, in all probability, that young girl would be alive. It's because of the 3 of you acting together. You gave her the ability to stab her in the back. You're all equally as guilty. If it wasn't for the fact that you and all of your friends in a pack were out hunting for him, who hasn't said a word? Nice tie, by the way. If it wasn't for this group looking for him, pulling the fire extinguisher off a wall, going out and waiting for him near his car, spraying it with the entire content of the fire extinguisher, somebody else said, "Now you sprayed it, now I'm going to key the car." Never would have happened. So I'm going to tell you what your responsibility is. You're responsible, you, jointly and singularly are responsible for $1,070. Now, if you choose, Miss Griffin, to sue the other 2 girls and say, "Listen, I now have a judgment against me for $1,070, but you 2 participated as much as I did, so each one of us should share that responsibility," you go ahead and find him and sue him. He chose you to sue. That's fine. He doesn't have to be fair. He's the victim.
He ain't no victim.
He's the victim. He's the one whose car got vandalized. So he's the victim. And if he's a jerk, and if he's saying stupid things and being disrespectful, one day he'll get his. Now, I don't know whether you said anything bad about her. You have a mother?
Yes, I do.
She alive?
Yes, she is.
Would you like it if somebody called her the name that she alleges you called her?
I would not.
So you have to be respectful of other people's feelings, sir.
Understood.
That's what you're supposed to go to college to learn if you didn't learn it growing up in your house. So you're supposed to at least learn how to be a responsible adult when you're in college. That's what somebody is paying all that money for. In the meantime, Miss Griffin, I'm entering a judgment for $1,070, and if you want to find your two friends and sue them for their share, you go.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Mr. Hulse, it is your claim that the defendant sold you a horse that you specifically requested be a tame horse because the horse was for your father.
Yes.
That turned out to be a wild horse.
Exactly.
That couldn't be ridden.
No.
And Mr. Hummel says you don't get a refund. You had an opportunity to ride the horse. Must be something wrong with your riding ability.
Probably.
Is that right, sir?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am is better than yep. How long have you been in the horse business, Mr. Hummel?
I'm not really in the horse business. I have a small ranch that we use horses for lots of different things. We hunt and do lots of trail riding on the horses. The horses are ridden by a lot of people, young people, people that can't ride very well.
How many horses do you have?
Right now, I have 6 horses.
And at the time Mr. Hulse bought his horse, how many horses did you have?
7 horses.
And why were you selling?
Well, because I needed some money. It was getting close to Christmas, and I needed some money.
Okay. Did you put an ad in the paper?
I put an ad on a local website.
Okay. Can I see a copy of the ad, please?
Yes. The title says Well Broke Horses.
For sale, well-broke horses. Prices vary. Okay. So you were selling 5 of your horses?
That's correct.
Did you sell all 5?
No.
How many horses did you sell?
Thus far, I've sold 3 of them.
Well, my math isn't that great, as Bert can attest, but if you have 6 horses now and you had 7 horses then and you sold 3...
I picked up a couple more horses, though.
So you bought some more?
Yep.
When did you buy the other horses, sir?
About a week ago.
From where?
From a friend of mine.
Okay. Now, what did you want a horse for, Mr. Hulse?
Some of my friends and I have gone in on some horses. My dad was looking to join our little group and buy another horse to ride. He's totally inexperienced.
How old is your father?
55.
A baby. So he's an inexperienced rider, and you want him to have a
Yes,
easy
and a
horse.
little bit heavier, so we wanted a stout horse.
Tell me what happened when you answered the ad.
I called Greg on the 10th of December around 12 o'clock. Told him I was interested to come out that day and look at some horses. He said he'd have some saddled and ready by 2 o'clock. So Ryan and I went to his ranch, and we said we were looking for a horse that was on the lower end of the $1,000, $1,500 range. He showed us 2 horses that were in that range. He told us that Angel, the horse we ended up getting, was on the lower end of that range because she didn't have papers.
Where did you get this horse from?
From a buddy in Cleveland, Utah.
When?
Quite some time ago. I can't tell you the exact time. I've had the horse for quite a while.
Well, years. Give me some idea.
Close to a year.
Well, that's not so long, sir.
No.
What's the person's name that you bought the horse from?
Richard.
How much did you pay for the horse?
I paid $900 for the horse.
Now, the other horse that you showed the plaintiff, where did you get that horse from?
Same person.
When?
Same time.
So you bought the 2 horses together?
That's correct.
How much did you pay for the second horse?
The same.
Did you buy any of your other horses from Mr.
Yeah, but what's this have to do with this horse?
I ask the questions, you answer the questions.
Of course I have.
Are any of the other 6 horses that are now in your possession horses that you bought from Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
All of them.
So you bought all your horses from Mr.
Yes, he's a very close friend, and we ride a lot together.
Did you ride the horse, Mr. Hulse?
Yes.
And is your father about your stature?
No.
Is he larger or smaller?
He's heavier and shorter.
So you were satisfied. Now, what happened after you bought the horse?
We paid Greg the money that day. The next morning, around 9 o'clock, Ryan and I went to trailer the horse. And the horse took us about 2 hours to get her in the trailer. She acted like she'd never seen a trailer before. By that time, Greg had already cashed our check, and we tried calling him a few times to let him know the problem. We couldn't get a hold of him.
Well, I don't understand. Didn't you go back
That's
to
not
where the
true.
horse was?
Yes.
Where was he?
He wasn't there.
Was at work.
He gave us permission to go get it. He knew he wasn't going to be there.
So you called him.
Yes.
And what did he say when you called him?
He didn't answer. We finally got the horse in. We cajoled her with some oats and stuff, and then dropped her off at our field. And then Monday, we tried to saddle her. And
now, when you went to view this horse for the first time on the 10th of December, did you tell Mr. Hummel what you wanted the horse for?
yes,
What did you tell him?
I told him that my dad was going to be making the purchase and that he has no experience, and so we need just a leisure horse that anybody can ride.
Okay. Now, I see that you have a video.
I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
Your Honor, may I make a comment on this video?
Yeah, tell me who you are.
My name's Adam Marriott. I'm one of the riders in the video. Just like to say a few things as we watch it.
Are you a friend of his? Is that what you...
I am, yeah. You see here, Ryan right here, he's the rider right now, going up to the horse, and she pins her ears back, which means she's angry, and then obviously you can see she kicks. That could be dangerous. I mean, we're about to put up a beware of horse sign in front of the pasture.
Judge, can I say something, or is it just their turn?
No, it's their turn.
Okay, as we saddle the horse, he has to hold her head really tight or else she'll turn around and bite us. And so we put it on pretty gently, and here she goes, trying to stomp on us and rear up a little bit. So we ride about 10 paces, try to turn her head very gently, and she starts bucking. You see I'm swaying with her just to stay on. And here she goes, she rears up.
Okay, and that was you riding the horse?
That was me riding.
Are you an experienced rider, sir?
I am.
Okay, now it's your turn.
Okay, when they came over to my ranch, we saddled up 2 horses. I had an inexperienced employee of mine get on the horse first, rode the horse around. They got on the horse, him and those 2, and rode off my property away from the herd. If a horse is going to act up, it's going to be during that time period when you pull it away from a herd.
How do you account, sir, for that kind of behavior?
Okay, let me finish. They rode the horse off my property for quite some time. They came back and said, we want this horse.
I understand that that's what you're saying, sir. I understand.
I can get a horse to do that. It looks like they're inexperienced people. And maybe, I don't know what they've done to the horse. It's an animal. It's a living thing. It's not a machine. The horse never acted like that prior. I've had little kids on the horse, inexperienced people on the horse, and they rode the horse.
When did you first contact Mr. Hummel and tell him that you were having difficulty with the horse?
3 days. I have my phone log right here showing the cell phone that matches the ad. It's highlighted. 3 days after we purchased the horse. He told us the horse was in heat, that it was away from the herd, it needed to calm down. He kept referring to the horse as a sweetheart. But, I mean, she just progressively got worse. And we gave him a week. I just believed him for a week.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There's something fishy with regard to your story about where you get all your horses and when you bought them.
Why is that fishy?
Because I could tell from your gait, sir. That's what I do for a living. I can tell when somebody's not telling me the whole truth.
And later today,
my daughter was involved in a murder. There was 3 involved in the crime. She was a driver of a getaway car, so she got 18 years.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jeremy Hull says fellow horse owner Greg Hummel sold him a horse that had not been broken.
Okay. When you called him again and said that her behavior hadn't changed, what did he say?
He just was saying, what do you want me to do? What do you want from me? And so I said, I want my money
I want
back.
you to take your horse back.
Yeah.
No.
She's not well broke. He accused me of calling him a liar and wanted me to call back and apologize to him.
Well, he's not telling the truth. I offered him another horse out of the 7. I said, come and bring the horse back.
He offered Rose.
For what? Let me finish. He's had quite a bit of time.
Absolutely.
We sat there and saddled those horses up right in front of him.
I understand that, sir. I'm not calling you a liar.
No.
I'm not suggesting that you... Listen to me. I'm not calling you a liar at this moment. I don't believe everything that you're telling me about your friend in Utah with the horses, because I can tell when somebody is not telling me the whole truth. There's something strange about that, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but there's something peculiar about it. But I'm not accusing you of doing anything before they arrive. Put your hand down.
I'm sorry.
Don't you notice that I see you?
Yes,
I'm in the middle of talking.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not accusing you of doing anything, sir. He may accuse you of maybe giving this horse a little something to calm it down while he was there. I didn't say that at all. All I'm suggesting is there's something fishy with regard to your story about where you get all your horses and when you bought them.
Why is that fishy?
Because I could tell from your gait, sir. That's what I do for a living. I've been doing it for 35 years. I can tell when somebody's not telling me the whole truth, Mr. Hummel. And whatever else you did today with regard to your story about where you got the horses from, when you got the horses, what you paid for them, and how long you've had them, something isn't quite right. I don't have to necessarily figure out what that is because it's not particularly relevant to this lawsuit. I understand what you're telling me, that they came, that they saddled up the horses, that they rode off of your property, that the horse behaved reasonably on your property, that they came back the next day. The next day when they came back, they found that there was slight difficulty with the horse, getting the horse into a trailer. But that's a possible problem with most horses. They don't like to go into trailers. It's a confined space. They finally got it in. Practically immediately, they called and said to you, listen, we answered an ad for a well-broken horse. I am an experienced rider of horses, and I can't ride them. And certainly, my father can't ride them. So since you were aware, Mr. Hummel, that this horse was being purchased for a particular purpose, you have two choices. Either you say, listen, let the buyer beware. You buy a horse, you take it as you find it, and you're stuck with it. Or a horse must have a warranty, in this case, that it could be ridden, and it could be ridden by someone who is inexperienced and not a good rider. And clearly, based upon what I saw, that's not a possibility. So you're getting your horse back, Mr. Hummel. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,100, which is what you paid. Is that right?
Yes.
Bring him back his horse. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They rode the horse off my property. Obviously, the guy, maybe his wife said he couldn't have the horse.
He wasn't man enough to deal with the horse and our problems in the first place.
I'm an experienced horseman. I've been through a fire science program.
It's crazy. We have 5 other horses, and they're a dream.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Stewart versus Marshall. Step forward, please.
Electrician Terry Stewart is suing her daughter, 28-year-old nurse's assistant Amy Marshall, for a loan to pay off a bingo hall fine.
Miss Stewart, this is your daughter?
Yes.
You look very much alike. Do you know that?
Yep.
One day you're going to wake up, 10 years from now, you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to say, when did I become my mother? You say your daughter owes you some money for a loan.
Yes.
A loan that you made a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Your daughter says that it was not a loan, it was a Christmas gift. You made a Christmas gift to one of your other children, and you take care of one of your other children, so she doesn't understand why you're suing her. Right?
Right.
When did you make this loan, and what was it for, Miss Stewart?
I took out a loan for my daughter when she had called me and asked me because she had...
Give me the date.
The date was 2002.
Do you remember what month in 2002?
December.
Tell me, to the best of your recollection, what the telephone conversation was.
She called me and asked me for a loan. For the reason is because she owed a lawyer some money.
What did she owe a lawyer money for?
She had bounced a check for $40. Somehow it just got out of hand, and a lawyer got a hold of the check because it was a bingo hall, and a bingo hall won't hold on to it too long. So they took her to court, and they said that it was supposed to owe them $800. And so she goes, Mom, I'm going to have to go to jail if I don't pay the $800.
So she gave somebody a bad check?
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Long story short, it ended up being a bad check, yes.
I like to cut to the chase because I have other things to do today. So your daughter was arrested for bounced check?
I was never arrested.
But you were threatened with arrest unless you made good on this check?
Right.
So you called your mother?
Yes.
And what did you say to your mother when you called her?
I told her I was going to end up going to court for the check, but the lawyer was willing to settle, so I needed the money right away to pay the lawyer.
And how much did you tell her you needed?
I don't remember offhand.
She asked for $1,500 because she needed $800 to pay for the lawyer, and she wanted $700 to help her with the children for Christmas.
And what did you say?
And I said I would co-sign because this started out to be a co-sign thing, but then I couldn't co-sign. I had to take the loan out in my own name. And I had asked her, if I do this, please don't renege on the loan.
So you took out a loan?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
The thing of it is, she helps my sister out every single day. She takes care of her kids. She gives her money. She goes to see her. She was going every week for the first couple years to see her. She drives right by my house.
Your sister's in jail?
Yes.
What is she incarcerated for?
I don't know exactly.
I do. My daughter was involved in a murder,
a robbery?
Yes, a mass armed robbery. And there was 3 involved in the crime. She was a driver of a getaway car, so she got 18 years.
Who takes care of her children?
I do.
How old are her children?
8, 7, and Trinity will be 5. I've had Trinity since she was a day old.
Because my sister didn't want her. Yep. I know.
How old are you?
28.
You have children?
Yes, I do.
How many?
3.
Are you married?
Yes, I am. To the father of my 2 younger children.
How long have you been married?
Almost 6 years.
So what are you so mad at your mother about? Because she takes care of your sister's 3 children and she goes to visit your sister?
And she goes right by my house to go see her. She doesn't stop. She actually works with my husband. And I've seen her at my husband's work. She never know, so much as a hi, she walks right by me.
Why?
I don't know.
What do you think she's angry about?
This is anger way before this loan. I hadn't seen her for almost 6 years. She wasn't around for any of my kids' births. She wasn't around for my wedding. Wasn't around for my graduation. Nothing.
Where were you?
Where was I? I was told I wasn't allowed to see her by her father. I wasn't allowed to talk to them. She knows this.
Were you raised by your father?
Yes, my father and his wife. But I moved out when I was 20.
Finally, after 7 years, her husband told her that she should look me up, and she did. And she called me, and we started talking.
Okay. Miss Marshall, I read your answer. And what your answer says was these were gifts. Well, clearly you've acknowledged today, even though you may not recognize it, that this was a loan. And what it appears to me is that you're angry because your mother has taken on the burden and the responsibility of your sister's children, and she has neglected you. And so you feel as if you're entitled to this. The law doesn't work that way. Your mother took out a loan because you called and asked her to take out a loan.
Right.
You paid her back some of it.
Yep.
Right?
Yes, I did.
So it's unfortunate for your mother that she's had to take on the responsibility of raising 3 children until they're grown.
May I stop? I also have an 8-year-old son of my own.
So now you have 4 children.
Yes.
Who helps you take care of the children?
My mother does.
Your mother?
Yes, my mother.
How much do you owe your mother?
I made 4 payments. That was $400. And I gave her my big screen TV. She gave me $300 cash for it, and $500 was supposed to be towards that loan. So that's $900 towards the loan that was paid.
No, the $500 to begin with is the first time she got $500 from me for my taxes. So I gave her $500, and then when they were selling the great big screen TV, I said, I'll give you $300 because I knew they needed some money, but you still owe me the $500 towards the taxes that you borrowed from me. So this will set it straight.
Does that sound familiar?
No. It was supposed to go towards that loan.
Well, you people have to keep better records. How many payments did your daughter make to you in cash for this loan? I'm not talking about television. I'm not talking about anything else. How much?
$800 in cash she paid towards that loan.
Okay, good. You don't see her children?
She wouldn't let me see my grandchildren.
Why don't you stop by her house when you go to visit your daughter?
I didn't know where she lived. Somebody else had to tell me where she lived.
You have any objection to your mother stopping by and seeing the children?
No, I don't. I encourage it. I want to see my nieces, too.
We can do that.
Well, why don't you do that? Why don't you do that on Sunday?
That's when she usually goes to see my sister.
Why don't you do that on Sunday?
I don't.
What time do you go to visit your daughter?
I leave about 10 o'clock in the morning.
And what time do you get back?
About 9 o'clock at night.
That's a long day.
I take my mom to see her handicapped brother, which my mom is handicapped, so I take her when I go to see my daughter so my mom can see her brother.
Oh, my goodness. Why don't you make time on the weekend?
Yes.
To go to see your daughter with her 3 nieces who she would like to see, visit your grandchildren, spend an hour.
I can do that. I miss my grandchildren. I can do that.
And I miss my mother. You know, I actually, the day before I got these papers, I actually called her to reconcile.
She did.
You know, and I don't know why I always have to be the one that calls her.
Well, you shouldn't be.
I shouldn't.
All right, let's make arrangements to do it on Sunday.
We can do that.
Okay? Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $700. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I order them.
Of Sear versus Zanger. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Sear, you and Mr. Zanger are neighbors.
Yes, we are.
But I gather the properties are spread out.
They're very far apart.
How many acres do you have?
I have 6.5.
And Mr. Zanger, how many acres do you have property?
Just short of 6.
This is your complaint, that Mr. Zanger keeps peacocks, and he also has dogs.
Yes.
You claim that his peacocks got out of his property and came onto your property and ate your screens. That his dogs attacked your dogs. You have vet bills that you want him to pay for. And that when you complained, he sent out a letter to neighbors that really vilified you and caused you a substantial amount of hardship. And you want to be compensated for that as well. Mr. Zanger says the screens, really no big deal. That his dogs are territorial, and as far as the letter is concerned, he never meant the letter to cause you any embarrassment or stress. He was really trying to be neighborly. That's your defense.
Exactly.
How long have you been neighbors?
It'll be 3 years in July.
Do you have pictures of your peacocks, Mr. Zanger?
I do.
May I see them, please?
They're so pretty.
How long have you had these birds?
About 4 years, I would say.
Do you keep them contained in any way?
Not at all.
Okay. So you understand if you don't keep them contained in any way, you are responsible for any damage that they cause?
Yes.
Good. So tell me about the damage that the peacocks caused, Miss Sear.
We have a 3-story house. They've gotten up there and ate all 5 of the screens on our 3rd story.
Can I see the pictures, please? They certainly are beautiful
Here,
birds.
they're 8 all the way
Thank
up
you.
to here.
Beautiful. Where did you get them?
In New York.
How many do you have?
Right now, only 2. The others were eaten by the mountain lions. And may I just add, at this point, I have them as security against rattlesnakes.
Well, that's nice, but they eat her screens.
That was none of my desire.
I understand that,
or
but
my
may not be your
doing.
desire, but they're annoying. This is the damage they caused.
May I address you in that point? This happened actually 3 years ago. I came back from New York where I spent my summers on my island. And then I was told by one of the neighbors that Zach said his father had shot at the peacocks on the roof or above. I went up to the Sear residence. I introduced myself. They were new neighbors. And I met Mr. Sear, and I asked him if he did actually take aim at the peacocks. And he said, yes, he shot above them because they were on a roof. I said, okay, why don't you use a water hose? Water does really deter almost all animals.
Yeah.
And eventually Mrs. Sear came out, and she said, you know, they ate our screens, and I did not see them.
Okay, well, somebody wasn't watching the store. How much is it going to cost you to replace the screens?
The screens, I found a lower estimate for $85.79.
$85.79, cheap enough, taking care of the screens. Let's get to the problem with the dogs.
My son and his 9-year-old friend, my son was 11. They were walking.
Were you there?
I was at the house, no.
You the son?
Yeah.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Zachary Sear.
All right, Zachary. When were you walking your dogs that you had a problem with Mr. Zanger's dogs?
About April 26th.
How many dogs were you walking?
I was only walking 2.
What kinds of dogs were you walking?
German Shepherd and Lab.
Mixed.
Were you walking them on leashes?
No. I was leading them with my hand.
And where were you walking them?
I was walking them down the road. We have like a halfway where it splits. And I go from there back and just check out the neighborhoods.
Okay. Tell me what happened, Zachary.
Okay, I was walking down and I see 3 dogs coming down. A St. Bernard and 2 looks like black labs and Rottweiler mixed. And the St. Bernard was okay. It just stayed away, but then...
Yeah, they're big and goofy and fun.
Yeah.
The St. Bernard's very sweet.
We have one in our family.
They are very sweet.
I know.
And then those 2 Rottweiler and lab mixes, they were all sniffing, and then one started to bite the older dog.
Whose older dog?
Our older dog. They just started to fight and everything, and I was getting freaked out, so I tried to help. And then they went to go attack the younger dog, which is our dog, but that dog just ran away. Then they started attacking my dog's legs, and they started pouncing on her chest and everything, and she had a big, like, hump or something on her side of her ribs. And then my mom came back up, and that's when we got contact with Mr. Zanger.
What did Mr. Zanger say to you, Miss Sear?
Well, I heard the boys screaming, so I got in my truck and I drove down. I met with the boys, so I put the boys and the dog in my truck, and as I came, he came down in his silver car, and I pulled up next to him, and I said, "Do you see what happened?" And he says, "Yes." He goes, "My dogs are territorial." He says, "Anything that walks over here, they think that they own the road." I said, "If your dogs are dangerous, you need to take care of your animals." My dog never left my son's side as they were pouncing him and everything else. She's not aggressive.
Okay, Mr. Zanger.
Thank you. I would like to say the dogs have absolutely no Rottweiler in them. Both of them are black, as you see. Both of them are female and spayed.
Good. That's very nice. They got off your property. Did you say to Miss Sear when she called you that my dogs are territorial?
I did say so, yes. You see, when we moved there, we saw the area is so rural, and I felt we have our dogs there also to keep the rattlesnakes away. I had to kill rattlesnakes right in front of my house, and I have a 6-year-old granddaughter, and I want her to be safe.
Mr. Zanger, my dear, you choose to live there.
Yes.
If you choose to live there, you have to have whatever protection you need for your 6-year-old granddaughter.
That's...
If you choose to have your 6-year-old granddaughter live in an area where she's playing in the front yard, but for your dogs and your peacocks, there are going to be rattlesnakes. That's your choice. You don't have the right to have dogs who've decided that their territory goes beyond the boundary of your deed. And when you do, You are responsible for the damage that they cause. So now I will see the letter.
And then he issued out a letter to all of my neighbors in May stating that when I brought him my vet bill, I knocked on the door. Mr. Zanger walked out, shut the door behind him, and I said, the other day when your dogs attacked my dog, here's my vet bill. He took it, he looked at it, and he goes, so what? Good. He goes, get off my property. I said, you're responsible for what happens. He goes, get off my property right now. And I said, it's very sad because I'm going to call animal control and it'll probably end up with your animals being destroyed. I did say that. I never said I was going to shoot them. His 6-year-old granddaughter was never there. He sent that out to my neighbors.
Can I read the letter, please?
Certainly.
Are you employed, sir?
No, I'm retired.
You got a lot of time on your hands. And anybody receiving this letter, Miss Sear, would understand that this is the musing of somebody who has a lot of time on their hands. It's not the kind of letter that you sue over. He's not only complaining about you, he's complaining about other people. He talks about other instances that happened in 1998 with his dogs. He talks about stolen car parts, which he doesn't attribute to you. It is the musings and meanderings of somebody who has nothing else to do. You don't get compensated for this. You do, however, get compensated for the injuries to your dogs and for the screens that his peacocks damaged. Those two amounts together come to $477.63. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think it was fair. The only reason I brought the letter in was to prove that, you know, he was distributing lies to all my neighbors, but I think it was very fair.
I do applaud Judge Judy for whatever she does and how she does it, and I abide by her decision.
He's got too much time on his hands.
Let bygones be bygones, and let's work together to a better neighborhood.
All parties in the matter of Feldman versus Martinez, step forward.
23-year-old college student Stephanie Feldman is suing her ex-best friend, 24-year-old Emily Martinez, for vandalizing the inside of her home with pink paint and rotting meat.
Ms. Feldman, the defendant moved into a home that you share with your father, according to your complaint, and you had an argument. After a period of time, she moved out, and it is your claim that she vandalized the house. You want her to pay for the damage that she did in the house. Ms. Martinez said she did not vandalize the house, and she is counterclaiming. She said she wants damages because during the course of this argument, you assaulted her, right?
Yes.
When did you move in and why, Ms. Martinez?
I was persuaded by Stephanie to...
No, listen. When did you move in?
In September of '04.
Who did you move in with?
With my son's father, my fiancé at the time.
And what about your son?
He was with me as well.
What, did you have a room or an apartment?
It was a room.
Okay. When did you start to pay rent?
Immediately.
How much did you pay?
I paid $400 a month.
So far, is that right?
No.
No. When did she move in?
She moved in around September, like she said. But actually, the first month that she moved in with Hugo, I didn't charge her. Because I'm the godmother of her son, I said, I'll do you the favor and you don't have to pay for the first month. And she gets public assistance. And I have a letter here that I was getting $141.50 twice a month for Emily staying there.
Were you getting welfare in September of 2004?
No. When I moved in with her, I moved in with my fiancé. We separated, and that's when I was out of work and I applied for public assistance.
Were they paying the rent?
Not initially. Initially,
when did they start paying the rent?
Around November.
All right, good. So they paid the rent, $283.
I paid the difference.
Show me proof.
I don't have proof because we were best friends.
Did she pay any additional rent? She says you didn't give her additional money and that all she got for the room was $283 that she got from public assistance.
Yes.
Okay, keep going. What was the argument about and when did it occur?
Okay, it all started when she was no longer with Hugo. Hugo decided that he was going to move out. Her and Hugo broke up. She started dating this other guy named Fred, okay? My nephew let Hugo in the house while she was in the room with Fred. A whole thing started where Fred tried to stab Hugo, and Hugo had to jump out of the window. So I told her after that argument that, you know, this has to stop. The police came. I said, you know, I don't want this drama in my house.
Right. You're absolutely right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Let me tell you why. I'm really comfortable.
How so?
If you're quiet, I'm going to explain it to you. And I want you to understand there's only one attitude in this room.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stephanie Feldman says her ex-best friend, Emily Martinez, vandalized the inside of her home. Emily is countersuing for an assault and the return of her security deposit.
Okay, when did she finally move out?
April 7th, that was the 30-day. The first argument was on March 7th when I was speaking to my nephew about not shoveling. That's his responsibility to do. And she got into the argument. I said, Emily, please mind your business, and she wouldn't. So that's when I had asked her to leave. I said, if you're going to get into my family business...
That's when she claims you slapped her. Did you slap her?
No.
What'd
She
you
went
do?
to go hit me on the entrance door by her room, and I moved her hand out of the way out of self-defense. I'm gonna see somebody hitting me and stand there.
Okay. Were you injured?
Yes.
Well, tell me about the injury.
Okay, she was in a violent rage. She is very violent. She has violent outbreaks towards her father.
You shouldn't have moved in with her if she was violent.
Well, I didn't realize that. You don't know these things till you move in with people. You never know someone till you live with them.
Show me pictures of your injuries.
I don't have any pictures.
Do you have a police report about your injuries?
No, I don't.
All right. Could you get to the vandalism of the property, please? She moved out April 7th.
Yes. I was at work because I'm a supervisor in the after school. My father and my nephew were home.
Father?
Yes.
Could you step up, please? What is your last name, sir?
Feldman.
Mr. Feldman, were you home on or about the 7th of April when Miss Martinez came in to get the remainder of her things?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
She took her stuff and she left.
And then what happened?
My grandson and I left, and when we came back, the back room was destroyed.
You have photographs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I see it, please?
And there's also photographs on the back as well. And that also has photographs of the meat that was planted in my apartment.
What is this pink stuff that was spilled all over the place?
That was the pink paint that she used. As you can see, it's the same color of the room. That pink paint was in Emily's possession, was never in my possession.
You also said that somebody put stuffed food around the house.
Yes. That day, when I walked in, I noticed a foul odor in my bedroom. And I couldn't figure out what it was, but I had people over, so I wasn't going to start searching all over. And the next day, I found chopped meat in my heater system, fish under my bed. That's what you see in the pictures. Chopped meat and pig's legs all over the house, behind my fridge, behind my bed wall. And
anybody else have access to the house?
Only the people that live with me, which is my dad, my nephew, and Millie, who is my godmother.
Go ahead.
Okay. She has an open house. She has a party house.
First, let's go with the pink paint.
Okay. I mean, that was planted after I left. This is all a retaliation because I called the police on her because she attacked me. And she told me I had to have my stuff out by a certain day. I removed it.
Wait a second. Wait. She didn't attack you. You said she slapped you.
She was attacking me.
You said she slapped you, is what you said.
That's all she got in because I was...
Listen to me. You still vandalized the house.
That's
allegedly.
You
or what's the new boyfriend's name?
Fred.
Fred. You or Fred.
Allegedly.
No, I have to make a decision whether that happened.
How is the evidence? Where's the evidence that I did that? She has an open house. Her door's never locked. There's guys coming in and out of her apartment all hours of the night.
Miss Martinez, let me tell you why. I'm really comfortable, really comfortable finding that you vandalized the house.
How so?
If you're quiet, I'm going to explain it to you. And I want you to understand there's only one attitude in this room.
I'm not trying to have an attitude.
Good.
I just don't like being accused.
So I'm going to explain it to you because how long have you lived in this house?
That's been in my family for 50 years. I've lived there all my life.
Shh. Listen to me. Listen to me. How many times have you found chopped meat in the heater system?
Not at all.
Never?
No.
Mr. Feldman, how many times have you found chopped meat in the heating system in the last 50 years?
Never.
How many times have you found paint spilled on the floor?
Never.
In 50 years?
Never.
So the only time
listen
to me. I'm speaking now. You asked me for a reason. I'm giving you the reason. I'm being nice to you. The world revolves around common sense.
Absolutely.
If it doesn't make sense, it's not true. If it makes sense, then more often than not, it's true. Now, she's had, according to you, an open house. Lots of people come in and out of the house. Mr. Feldman has lived there for 50 years. I'm sure he's had lots of people in and out of the house. It is too coincidental, and it belies credulity, which means it just doesn't make sense, that in the last 50 years, the only time that they've had trouble with vandalism in their house to this extent,
No.
in a room where you and Fred and Hugo had been living, and the only time she had meat found in the heating system is the day you moved out?
This is a case of single white female. She wants to be me. The problem was
Listen
that
to me,
I had
sweetheart.
a boyfriend, and she
Listen-
wanted me to be hanging out with
listen
her
to
every
me.
day. I had to be
She
by her
doesn't
side
wanna
every
be
day.
you. Listen to me.
She has a
Listen
serious
to me.
psychological problem, and this is a retaliation against me.
Then you should have a different place to live.
I do.
In any event, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500, which is the cost of your cleanup, which is what you say. You should not have to clean up. I'm speaking. You won, so be quiet. You have a counterclaim for assault. I find that you weren't assaulted, so it's dismissed. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are. This is Reed. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. And have a seat.
Mr. Burkhart, you and Miss Reed had a relationship and you have a child together. Is that right?
Yes, 5-year-old Michaela.
Your complaint alleges that you made 2 loans to Miss Reed over a year ago. And in addition to that, she took out a small amount of money, $100 and some odd from a bank account that she should not have, also over a year ago. So far correct?
So far correct.
That you did not pursue this matter during the past year because there were open criminal charges against you for assaulting Miss Reed. You wanted to wait until that case had been resolved before you pursued these loans.
Yes, ma'am.
You were, several weeks ago, convicted after a jury trial
Yes, ma'am.
of assaulting Miss Reed. And now that that has been resolved, you want your money.
Yes.
Miss Reed says that that money was given to her in lieu of child support, and you are currently thousands of dollars in arrears on your child support. One was for college tuition, $975, and one was for rent, $400 for rent. Is that right? Yes, Miss Reed. And that she did close out a bank account. The bank account was in her name. Yes. So she had the right to close it out. And you are still thousands of dollars in arrears in child support. That's your defense. Yes. When was the first alleged loan, Mr. Burkhart?
Back in March of '04.
What was it for?
She came to me and asked me for help. She was taking college courses, and as you know, when you go to college, if you're only taking a single course, you're not eligible for TAP or Pell. So she needed the money for the college course. And then a month later, she needed money for the rent, and I said, that's fine too. You know, I would help her out with that I would loan her the money for that.
And that's really what you're suing for, as far as the loans are concerned.
Well, yeah, and the 192, I was a trustee. See, I'm disabled, and we wanted to set up a bank account so our daughter Michaela could get the money. Then she found out that I had by accident, $18,000 of disability, a Social Security disability that I got put into that account by mistake because I was a trustee. They seen my name. So one day I get this call, she's crying about, oh, you got $18,000, why wasn't I given any of this? It was my disability, it had nothing to do with hers. As far as this money being towards support, if you look at the support...
Just a second.
Okay.
She took $192.
She closed the account out. That's what the balance was when she closed it.
And when was the last time you lived together?
It was around the year 2000. Because Michaela was born, and 6 months later she attacked me. I had just had my knee replaced, and I asked her to leave because we weren't getting along. She was getting too violent.
I didn't ask you to go into that. I'm really not interested. 2000.
Yeah.
And has your daughter remained in Miss Reed's custody since?
No.
She was in your custody or in somebody else's custody?
In my custody for 4 years. I had her from Sunday to Friday, and then most of the weekends that she would go out with other people.
Okay, and she would go with her mother?
For the weekend.
For the weekend?
Yes.
Now, was that pursuant to a court order?
No, that was just, she was working, I was disabled, so it was convenient. So for 4 years I did that.
Until when?
Until last year around, it was like June or July. She took me to court for support, and the judge said, I can't give you support. He's got her from Sunday to Friday.
June or July of last year, 2004?
Right. So when she
when
found
was this
out,
alleged assault? When was the assault?
that was over a year ago, about a year.
When?
That was around a little after March, a little after...
March of 04?
04.
So right after these 2 loans or right before these 2 loans?
No, it was before. The assault was after the loans.
Assault was after the loans?
Right.
But up until June of 04, Michaela was with you?
Yes.
Even after the assault?
Yes. Until she found out she couldn't get support. And once she found out she couldn't get support, the judge said, no, he's with her. Within 10 days, she took my daughter, and I haven't had her back since.
When did the court enter an order of support, Mr. Burkhart?
Around September or October, then she was granted support because then she had my daughter.
May I see the order, please? As of April 2005, sir, the court found you in arrears of $2,116.
Right, and that was because I didn't bring proof of financial, because I'm disabled. I only get $1,300 a month. So they gave an as needs, and you're a family court judge. You know what an as needs is, right? When you don't provide financial
Was that
proof.
order ever modified?
We're going back on the 17th of June.
My question is, was the order ever modified?
The original order was.
This order of arrears.
I don't know. All I can tell you is the original order was $61.
The net due, as of this month,
right,
is $3,255.48.
Right. That will be corrected. As soon
I don't know if it's going to be corrected or not. I have no idea if it's going to be corrected, but right now that's what you owe.
Right.
Well, if that's what you owe, sir, why do you think that I would even entertain a case against her for $1,200?
First of all, she lied to you about this being part of child support. How could I loan her something a year and a half ago or a year ago and base it on child support when there was no child support in effect at that time? So that tells you she's lying.
No, just a second.
Yeah.
No, she's not lying, Mr. Burghardt.
Yes, she is.
What? I get the last word.
Okay.
What she said was you were not paying her child support. She didn't say there was a child support order in effect a year and a half ago. She said you were not paying her child support.
But I was giving her money. There's other money that I'd given her.
What's the nature of your current disability?
My knee and my back.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a special ed teacher.
You have other children?
I have a 17-year-old.
Does that child receive any disability from your Social Security disability?
They get $75 each.
What amount is the order of support, by the way?
I think it's $289 a month, which on a $1,300 income is not quite feasible.
There is work, sir, that you could do that doesn't involve you moving around.
And what might that be?
Well, let me ask you this question, Mr. Burghardt. How did you come to California?
On a plane.
And you sat for 5 hours?
Well, yeah, I got up, walked around.
Same way you could sit in your house and do telemarketing.
I probably could.
You can do a lot of things sitting at a desk that don't require... I'm
the
speaking,
legal
I'm
matters.
speaking,
okay,
sir.
Excuse me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Somebody who can sit on a plane for 5.5 hours from New York to California can get a different kind of a job that doesn't require him using his knee.
And later today...
You only called her the B word, that's it? Well, is that a nice name, William?
Nope.
Why did you call her a nasty name?
Because she called me the F-word.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Roland Burghardt says the mother of his child, Starla Reed, owes for 2 unpaid loans. Starla claims Roland is a deadbeat dad.
How old are you, sir?
53.
53. Well, you have a 5-year-old daughter. You decided to make a child when you should have been having grandchildren. That's something that you do when you have children to support.
I have a 17-year-old, too.
Listen to me, sir.
All right.
That's something that you have to do. $289 a month support is not a lot of money. It's certainly not half a child's support.
When you're only getting $1,300, that's quite a bit.
That's why you have to get a job,
Unfortunately,
sir.
I'm not allowed to work because of the doctor.
No, you're not allowed to work, sir, because you're getting disability.
Right. Well, until it's done. When the doctor gives me an okay to go back to work, I'll go back to work.
And all I'm saying to you, sir, is that there are things that you can do that don't require you doing anything physical, and that sometimes you have to modify a course in life.
All right.
That's not a joke. I mean, you can either get this federal welfare for disability. There are people who are really legitimately disabled, who can't move, who really can't move. Somebody who can sit on a plane for 5.5 hours from New York to California to try a case can get a different kind of a job that doesn't require him using his knee. Do you understand what I'm saying? And $289 is not a lot of money. And if the reason you were watching your daughter for 4 years is because you weren't working, which is what you told me, right?
Yes.
I'm telling you that you should get a job.
Yes, I will.
Get a
as soon
job.
as I'm done.
Good. Good. And, sir, I'm going to dismiss your case without prejudice for the following reason. I am not doing a set-off with the money that you allegedly owe Miss Reed for child support. In the event that your arrears are modified to 0, you have leave to get back on the plane and come back from New York and seek this $1,200. However, if the court sees fit to leave the arrears intact, she doesn't owe you a dime. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, the court says he has visitation with my daughter, but she can't spend the night there because his house is unstable for a child to be there.
Eventually, I'm probably going to go to jail because I'm not giving her anything.
They found drug paraphernalia in his house. They found rats in his house.
I have snorted coke for quite a few years. It's good enough for Sigmund Freud.
He is able to get money from the state of New York for his disability, so he's faking that he has money.
You got a mother and father that can't stand each other, and you got a 5-year-old that's in between, and that's the toughest thing that we have to watch out, that we don't hurt Michaela because we don't like each other.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Woodward versus Rubio Robles. Step forward, please.
Tiffany Woodward is suing the parents of her son's friend, Reynaldo Rubio and Julia Robles, for the cost of the boy's glasses. Tiffany claims 11-year-old Ida Rubio smashed them.
Miss Woodworth, this is your son. He's 7.
Yes, it is.
And Miss Robles, Mr. Rubio, this is your daughter. She's 11.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, these two young children play with each other. And for the 3rd time, this little girl broke your son's eyeglasses.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you want Mr. Rubio and Miss Robles to pay for the glasses this
Yes.
time. Because you can't get him new glasses, your insurance doesn't cover the cost. All right. Why don't you stand up there next to your mom and dad? Tell me your name.
Ida.
You want to come up here and talk to me?
Sure.
Good.
Thank you.
Is this young man your friend?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes.
Do you remember the last time his glasses got broken?
No.
Don't know anything about how his glasses got broken.
The first other 2 times, I didn't know, but this time, I didn't break them.
Well, what happened this time?
We were playing, and
Look at me.
We were playing, and he would call me names, and I would tell him names back. He pushed me, and so I pushed him back. He had hit the brick wall, and his glasses had fell. I think he stepped on them, or the lens popped out by himself, because I didn't step on them.
Okay. You can go back down.
Okay.
Okay, William. Hello.
Hi.
Is Ida your friend?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about how your glasses got broken.
Ida, she pushed me.
Ida pushed you.
Yeah.
Did you
Then-
call? Just a second.
And, I pushed her back, then she pushed me against the brick wall. Then they fell, and then she stomped on them.
Were you calling her any names?
I only called her the B word, that's it.
You only called her the B word, that's it? Well, is that a nice name, William?
Nope.
Why did you call her a nasty name?
Because she called me the F word.
Who called who a name first?
Ida. She called
Ida
me
called-
a name first.
So after Ida called you a name, and then you called her a name, who pushed who first?
Ida, she pushed me first.
And then you pushed her back?
Then she pushed me again. Then they fell off my face, and she stomped on them.
You've had a couple of pair of glasses break before, is that right, William?
It's not 3, it's 4. It's 4 times she did it.
How did she do it?
Because the last 3 times she punched me in the face and broke them in half. Then the last time she stomped on them.
But you keep playing with Ida. How come?
I don't know. We just keep on fighting them friends.
First you fight and then you're friends again?
Yeah, every time.
Why don't you go and sit down over there? The first couple of times that William told you that Ida had broken his glasses, did you call her parents?
I lived right next to them. I spoke with them.
Did Mrs. Woodworth speak to you about what happened with Ida?
I don't even recall the first 2 times. I don't remember.
Well, then if she says it happened and you say you don't remember, then it happened.
Well, do you remember?
It never was brought up to my attention about breaking glasses.
What did you tell them?
Well, my husband and I had both asked you if you would speak to Ida, and you guys had spoke to her. You know, my husband and I understand kids will be kids, but after so many times, I can't afford to pay for them, and the insurance won't cover for them anymore.
I got it. Now, Ida, I'm going to see you back here again, right here. Ida, you know what my job is?
Yeah.
What do you think my job is? Come on. You're 11 years old. You know, you're a big girl.
Yeah, but I don't really...
Well, my job is to make sure that I find out what the truth is. That's my job. And I don't think that you've told me the whole truth, Ida. And I've been a judge a very long time. So when you come to court, and Officer Byrd says to you, pick up your hand and you swear to tell the truth, and you say yes, you have to tell the truth. Not stories that you've told your parents, not stories that you told anybody else, but when you're in court, you have to tell the truth. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, it's my job to figure out if people tell the truth. And I think he's telling me the truth. I think that you've broken his glasses a couple of times. Is there any reason why you did that? Look at me. Don't look over there. Look at me. Is there any reason why you broke his glasses a couple of times?
Yes, because he gets me mad. He'll call me names and stuff like that.
Well, he can call you names, and do you call him names?
Yes.
Does he break things of yours?
No.
Then why do you break his glasses? Because you get mad?
Well, he'd push me and I'd push him back, but they never broke. Because I never hit him in the face.
Did you ever take off his glasses and break them in two?
No. They could fall and the lint could pop out, or they can accidentally get stepped on if they fall.
They can accidentally get stepped on. They can also get stepped on purpose. You could accidentally step on them, right?
Right.
Go back to your parents. Mrs. Robles, your husband clearly doesn't recall being spoken to by Miss Woodworth about your daughter. You claim not to recall. So I credit her testimony that she did, in fact, speak to you in the past. And I believe that your daughter broke his glasses and stepped on them just as he said that he did. His testimony was direct and straightforward and honest, that they were calling each other names, they pushed each other. Well, that's possible, and once he gets pushed and she gets pushed, I don't have a problem with that, even though kids aren't supposed to touch each other. But I believe him when he says that once the glasses fell off, she stomped on them because she got mad. She's not telling me the truth. And she didn't tell you the truth if that's what she told you.
So the first 2 times you believe that she broke them in half?
I believe that she broke his glasses before.
Oh, okay.
And I believe that his mother spoke to you about it before. You may not remember.
I don't recall that.
The glasses are $160?
Yes, they are.
Judgment for the plaintiff.
Good morning, everyone. Life is a journey filled with challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. Sometimes the path seems too steep, the road too rough, and the dream too far away. In those moments, it is easy to feel like giving up. But let me tell you this, every great success story is built on perseverance. History is full of people who faced failure after failure, yet refused to quit. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. If he had given up, we might still be in the dark. J.K. Rowling faced rejection from 12 publishers before Harry Potter was finally accepted, and today her books inspire millions. The truth is, success is not about never falling. Success is about getting back up every time you fall. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every failure teaches you something that brings you one step closer to your goal. When you refuse to give up, you prove that your dream is stronger than your obstacles, that your courage is greater than your fear, and that your spirit cannot be broken. So, no matter what you face, whether it's failure, doubt, or hardship, hold on to hope. Keep moving forward. Your breakthrough may be just one step beyond the point where you almost gave up. Remember, dreams don't work unless you do. So, keep fighting, keep believing, and never give up. Perseverance is not just an action. It is a mindset, a discipline, and a way of life. Many people dream of success, but very few achieve it, not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they give up too soon. The truth is, no great accomplishment in history has ever been achieved without perseverance. It is the foundation that holds everything together when the storms of failure and doubt arrive. Think of a seed planted in the ground. At first it lies in the dark soil, unseen and unnoticed. Days pass, then weeks, and still nothing appears above the surface. But beneath the soil the seed is working. It is breaking open, putting down roots, preparing itself for growth. If it could give up too soon, it would never sprout. But because it perseveres through the unseen struggle, it eventually breaks through the soil into the light. That is exactly how success works. Perseverance means staying committed when results are slow, when doors seem closed, and when others doubt you. It means showing up every single day, giving your best, and refusing to quit, even when progress feels invisible. It's easy to keep going when things are smooth, but true perseverance shows itself when everything seems against you. History gives us countless examples. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10 zeros. Zero ways that won't work." He didn't stop at 10, 100, or even 0 attempts. He persevered through thousands of failures until he finally succeeded. That single invention changed the entire world. Imagine if he had stopped on attempt number 9,999. How different our lives might be today. Perseverance is what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Talent can open the door, but only perseverance will keep you moving forward when that door seems locked. It is the difference between temporary defeat and ultimate victory. Failure is often seen as the end, but in reality, it is the beginning of growth. Every failure we face is not a wall meant to stop us, but a stepping stone designed to elevate us to the next level. Too often, people treat failure as a signal to quit, when in truth, it is a teacher showing us what doesn't work and guiding us toward what will. Think about how a child learns to walk. The child doesn't take one step and give up after falling. They stumble, they fall, they cry, and then they try again. With each fall, their legs grow stronger, their balance improves, and their courage increases. Eventually, those failures turn into confident steps. Without falling, the child would never learn to walk, and in the same way, without failure, we would never learn how to succeed. Great minds understood this principle. Albert Einstein once said, "Failure is success in progress." Each mistake carries a lesson, and each lesson moves us forward. J.K. Rowling's manuscript was rejected over and over again. Did that mean she wasn't talented? No, it meant the world wasn't ready yet. Those rejections were stepping stones that eventually led her to the right opportunity, and today millions around the globe treasure her work. Failure sharpens us. It teaches patience, builds resilience, and humbles us so we can grow. If success came instantly, we would never value it. But because we stumble, struggle, and rise again, we learn to appreciate the victory when it finally arrives. So, when you fail, don't see it as the end of your story. See it as a necessary chapter in your journey. Every failure carries a hidden gift, the chance to rise stronger, smarter, and wiser than before. Remember, failures are not the opposite of success. They are the steps that lead you to it. When we look at successful people, we often see the glory, the recognition, and the results, but we rarely see the struggle behind their success. Every great achiever has a story filled with rejection, failure, and disappointment. What makes them great is not that they avoided hardship, but that they refused to let rejection define them. Take Walt Disney, for example. Early in his career, he was fired from a newspaper because his editor thought he lacked creativity. Imagine that one of the most imaginative minds in history being told he wasn't creative enough. Yet Disney didn't let that rejection stop him. He pressed on, and today his name is synonymous with magic, imagination, and dreams. Another powerful example is Michael Jordan, who is often regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time. But as a teenager, he was cut from his high school basketball team. Many would have taken that as a sign to give up. Instead, Jordan turned that rejection into motivation. He practiced harder, trained longer, and refused to let one coach, his decision, determine his destiny. That same boy who was told, "You're not good enough," went on to become a 6-time NBA champion and a global icon. J.K. Rowling faced rejection from 12 publishers before Harry Potter was accepted. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. Steve Jobs was fired from the very company he founded. These people were not immune to failure or rejection. What made them stand out was their relentless persistence. Rejection is not the end. It is simply redirection. Each no you hear is a step closer to the right yes. Each setback is a test of how badly you want your dream. The truth is, if rejection can stop you, then you never truly believed in your dream to begin with. But if you can press on, even when doors slam in your face, you prove to the world and to yourself that your vision is worth fighting for. Many people believe that success means living without failure, walking a straight path from the start to the finish line. But the reality is far different. Success is not a smooth road. It is full of detours, bumps, and falls. The measure of true success is not in how many times you avoid falling, but in how many times you choose to rise after you fall. Falling is a part of the journey. Every stumble reveals something about our weaknesses, our strengths, and the areas we need to grow. But the danger lies not in falling. It lies in staying down. A person who falls and refuses to rise is defeated. But a person who falls 100 times and stands up 101 times is unstoppable. Think of Abraham Lincoln. Before becoming one of the greatest presidents in American history, he failed in business, lost multiple elections, and even suffered a nervous breakdown. By the world's standards, he had every reason to quit, yet every time he fell, he stood back up, and because of that resilience, he eventually rose to lead a nation during one of its darkest hours. It is the same in our own lives. You will fall maybe once, maybe 100 times. You will face rejection, disappointment, and setbacks. But what defines you is not the fall, it is the rise. The rise says, I am stronger than my struggles. I am bigger than my failures. And remember, even champions fall. Even heroes stumble, but they refuse to let their story end on the ground. Rising again after every fall is what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary success stories. Challenges are not punishments, they are opportunities in disguise. Life places obstacles in our path not to break us, but to build us. Just as fire refines gold and pressure forms diamonds, challenges are the tests that shape our character, strengthen our spirit, and prepare us for greater victories. Think about the gym. When you lift weights, you put your muscles under strain. At first, it feels heavy, even painful. But the very act of pushing against that resistance is what makes your muscles grow stronger. Without resistance, there would be no growth. In the same way, the challenges you face in life are the resistance that develops your inner strength. Consider Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison. Those years were filled with hardship, loneliness, and pain. Yet instead of breaking him, those challenges built his resilience. They deepened his wisdom, strengthened his resolve, and prepared him to become a leader who would inspire not just his nation, but the entire world. Without those trials, his leadership might never have carried the same weight. Challenges also reveal what lies within us. It's easy to be positive when everything is going well, but true character is tested when everything falls apart. Do you give up when life gets tough, or do you rise and fight harder? Every time you endure hardship and keep moving forward, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than you ever imagined. So, when challenges come, and they will, don't run from them. Face them with courage. Embrace them as teachers. Because every challenge you overcome adds another layer of resilience, another level of strength, and another step toward the person you are meant to become. Every journey toward success comes with obstacles: doubt, fear, criticism, financial struggles, rejection, and even failure. These obstacles are real, and sometimes they feel overwhelming. But here's the truth. If your dream is strong enough, no obstacle will be able to stop you. The size of your dream must always be greater than the size of the problems standing in your way. Obstacles are like storms. They test how deeply your roots go. If your dream is shallow, if it's just a wish or a passing desire, the storm will sweep it away. But if your dream is deeply rooted in passion, purpose, and determination, no matter how fierce the storm, you will still stand tall. Think of Martin Luther King Jr. His dream of equality was far greater than the obstacles he faced, threats, imprisonment, and even violence. Yet he pressed forward because his vision was stronger than his fear. His dream changed the course of history. Or consider Malala Yousafzai, who stood for girls' education even after being attacked for it. Her obstacles were life, threatening, but her dream was powerful enough to push her forward. Today, she is a global symbol of courage and hope. The lesson is this: your dream must burn so brightly inside you that no rejection, no failure, and no obstacle can extinguish it. Because obstacles don't truly stop us. What stops us is when our will to succeed is weaker than the challenges we face. When you want something deeply enough, you will find a way. When your dream is stronger than your excuses, stronger than your fears, stronger than every obstacle, you become unstoppable. Life has a way of testing us the hardest just before something great is about to happen. Many people quit when the struggle becomes too painful, too exhausting, or too overwhelming, unaware that their breakthrough may have been just one step away. The darkest nights often come just before the sunrise. Think of the miner who digs for gold. He works tirelessly, breaking through layers of rock day after day, finding nothing. Frustrated, he gives up and walks away. The very next person who picks up his tools strikes gold after just a few more swings. The first miner wasn't defeated by lack of gold. He was defeated by giving up too soon. History is filled with examples of people who held on just long enough to see their breakthrough. Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC, was rejected over 1,000 times when trying to sell his chicken recipe. Most would have stopped long before that, but his persistence paid off, and today his name is known around the world. His breakthrough came after countless rejections, because he refused to quit when the struggle was at its hardest. Even in nature, we see this truth. When a chick is ready to hatch, it must peck through the shell from the inside. That process is difficult, exhausting, and often looks impossible. But it is that very struggle that gives the chick the strength to survive outside the shell. Without the struggle, there would be no life. Your breakthrough might be closer than you think. The moment when you feel like quitting, when the pain is greatest, and when the road feels endless, that is often the moment you are closest to victory. Hold on, push a little further, and you may discover that your greatest struggle was only preparing you for your greatest triumph. So, my friends, as we've seen, success does not belong to the strongest, the smartest, or the luckiest. It belongs to those who refuse to give up. Perseverance, learning from failure, pressing through rejection, rising after every fall, embracing challenges, holding on to your dream, and pushing through the hardest struggles. These are the marks of true greatness. The road will never be easy, but easy roads never lead to meaningful destinations. Your journey will test you, break you, and challenge you, but it will also build you, strengthen you, and prepare you for victory. So, when life pushes you down, push back harder. When the world says quit, let your heart say, I will keep going. Because the moment you choose never to give up is the moment you've already claimed success. Thank you.